been to the area's premier radio-controlled hobby shop and raceway? Underground Raceway and Hobbies in Great Northern Mall has 2 indoor tracks for racing at every experience level. Don't have your own car? No problem. You can rent one from us. When you're ready to get your own, we've got an on-site hobby shop with everything you need, including all the popular brands. Underground Raceway and Hobbies has kits for land, sea, and air. Cars, boats, planes, you name it. Come see us next to Dick's in the Great Northern Mall in Clay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MotoOption Supercross. Out of Marmora, New Jersey, riding for Heckman Productions SYS Racing, number 4, Jeremy Smith. From Dillsburg, Pennsylvania, riding for Adept Creative Co., number 16, Logan Leitzel. From Dallas, Texas, riding for Duncan Racing, number 28, Trevor Byrne. Mattawan, Michigan, riding for Phil's Ski and Snowboard, number 78, Jacob Hubbard. From New Jersey, riding for Underground RC. Number 14, Matthias Janis. From Tampa, Florida, riding for Underground RC. Number 5, Tyler Lang. From Scottsdale, Arizona, riding for Panini Motorsports. Number 51, Payson Johnson. From Shawnigan Lake, Canada, riding for Panini Motorsports. Number 24, Colby Eaglin. From France, riding for Safe Moon, 2018 Supercross champion, number 7, Alexis Leclerc. From Costa Mesa, California, riding for Phil Ski and Snowboard, your defending Supercross champion and current points leader, number 1, Braden Carter.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in. It's round 14 of MotoOption Supercross live here on Start Your Systems. My name is Kellen Brower, and I'm ready to bring you guys the action tonight from Atlanta Motor Speedway, bringing host to the 14th round of this 450 Supercross Championship, but it's also the first of 2 250 East-West Showdowns that we're going to have this season in MotoOption Supercross, and it has been a lot of anticipation building for this East-West Showdown. Of course, the track is a big factor here tonight. Very long racetrack, the longest we're going to have all year long on this massive Atlanta Motor Speedway floor, and we'll get into that in a moment, but before we do, of course, we have to talk about qualifying, which is just now wrapped up. Qualifying goes for an hour after the track is released at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, and riders have an hour to qualify on it. But this week, we had, of course, 250 East and West riders all trying to qualify into their respective heat races tonight. So let's go ahead and take a look at our qualifying times. Of course, first off, look at our 450 times and see where the benchmark really is on this long racetrack here tonight. Tyler Lang has gone fastest on a 126.070, so just barely faster than Braden Carter's 126.078. Colby Eaglin, Payson Johnson, Logan Leitzel all inside of the top 5. Nick Sellen, who just barely missed out on winning his first career main event last week, goes 6th fastest here tonight. And Alexis Leclerc trying to bounce back from a rough week at the Triple Crown in St. Louis. They're in P7. We're only going to have, 33 riders in the 450 class tonight because so many of them have gone back down to their respective coasts to try to race in the West and 250 East-West Showdown here tonight. Rasmus Balzer has gone fastest in the 250 West division on a 129.140. Magnetti, Bordeaux, Cochran, our points leader down in 4th, and Holyhead rounds out the top 5. The cutoff time tonight will be this 20th place position, Emmett Sund. This will make up one of our 2 heat races tonight. Everybody north of Emmett Sund here is going to be in the heat race. So obviously some big names or some guys that we would normally expect to see in some main events down a little bit further out here tonight. Bummer deal for them. They're going to be sitting before we even get going here tonight. And then in the 250 East Division, John Heilman comes in tonight with the fastest lap time in the East Coast, but a little bit slower than what we saw out west at a 132.75. Brandon Tharp on a 130.5, as is Ethan Gerst. Tyron Tomic, Bryce Whelan, all inside of the top 5. And again, our cutoff time here will be Jannik Hansen. So Jannik Hansen going to be the cutoff here tonight. We'll look at the standings, though, and this is the story that has developed in the last 2 weeks in this 450 class. Braden Carter taking over the championship lead away from Alexis Leclerc and then extending it beyond where it was 2 rounds ago. It was just a 1-point difference between them. Now it's out to 18 points after Carter did well in the Triple Crown last week. Leclerc did not. So that gap is certainly extended in a hurry, and Leclerc really has to come back with something tonight to stop the bleeding before this gets out of hand with these final 4 races coming up. As a refresher, the 250 West standings, last time out, Magnetti, a big winner in Seattle, closes to 7 points now behind Casey Cochran. You have Rasmus Balzer back there. Also 9 points down, Seth Shirley, Johan Bordeaux, all still kind of close. Bordeaux slipping back a little ways, but Shirley still within a race distance. This 250 West Championship is very, very interesting. And a reminder that the 250 East-West Showdown, wherever they finish tonight, that is where their points will count towards. If Cochran finishes 6th, even if he's the first 250 West rider, he will get 6th place points. The same goes for this 250 East Coast class, which is a little bit more open up, but Bryce Whelan winning last time out in St. Louis closes it back up to Tyron Tomic, now 19 points down of the Australian rider on the number 42 Connect Visual KTM machine. So 19 points separate our top 2 in the 250 East, but 4 riders within 1 race distance in the 250 West, and that is setting us up for a fantastic night of racing as we get ready to drop the gate here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. So I believe we've already got everything kind of loaded in. UIDs are probably getting grabbed right now. I'll go ahead and show you guys a little bit around the racetrack here. Real quick if I can. I'll try to go all the way back down to the starting line. This is a massive start straight, quite easily getting into 5th gear on a 450 down this start straight. So off the gate, down this long start straight, I mean, it's pretty much like a full stadium length distance of a start straight into 5th gear, hard on the brakes in this left-handed sweeping first corner. Out of this first corner, there's going to be a little bit of a roller that these guys are going to struggle with, I'm sure, on that first lap to try to get over cleanly, and then step on, step off. Triple quad, if you can manage it on this 450. Some of the 250 guys will obviously have some different options through there. Under the tunnel, back across the start straight, and then over the lone Supercross triple on the track. Apologies, I'm going to jump off the track right here. But you land off the Supercross triple, continue on through the sand rollers, typical sand rollers that we're starting to see at this Atlanta Motor Speedway venue, running down the far end of the circuit here, down by pit lane entrance. So you go through these sand rollers, carry some speed through here. I think there's about 10 sand rollers, so you're going to rhythm through them a little bit going down to the far end, and then you're going to triple in right here, bust this quad if you can on a 450, then get up to speed going into this whoop section. This is one of 2 whoop sections on the track here tonight, into this big floater double. It's kind of a Supercross triple, but with a little bit of a bigger landing up and over the other side of the tunnel jump. Don't go down over the bars right there. And then you're going to hit the finish line jump. So this will actually complete the first lap of the race, but it's not the first full lap of the race. Over that finish line jump, little double into this corner right here, inside outside options, and you go backwards down the start straight right here, and you get set up for this corner. Out of this corner, these guys are going to pop this triple in, and then triple again back across this little first turn complex. Little split line option here through the sand, inside outside. You're going to see some guys trying to make some different things work here. Double through here, and then a nice big Supercross triple out to the far end of the circuit down here. This is towards pit lane exit on the NASCAR track. Long swooping left-handed corner into the second set of whoops right here. So you're going to want to get a good drive through that set and set yourself up for this little kink back to the right. Nice little double, and then another little kind of kink back to the left over a big double right here. Almost looks like a finish line jump, and then you join back up with the racetrack that you had on the first lap of the race. So it is a supremely long lap time here tonight. Probably going to see guys race pace-wise hovering in the 129s, 130s for the 450 class, 131, 132 for the 250 class. But boy, oh boy, we got a fun night of racing on hand for you guys here tonight in Atlanta. So hopefully you guys are ready to watch just a fantastic night of racing. We're going to have all the coverage for you guys coming up right now. So not sure. I think we're still waiting on... Oh, scripting is broken. Uh-oh, that's not a good sign. Well, I'm going to jump back in studio with you guys, hang out, and see what's going on in the chat room just a little bit. So back in the studio, see if we're missing out on any things. Oh, we got a question right away. Solitude34 says, any chance you will start streaming the Pro MX Bikes races? We need you over there. You're more entertaining and know how to talk during the races. Well, I mean, I've talked about this several times already, but when it comes to MX Bikes with me, like, I don't really want to step on anybody's toes that's already streaming. You know, there's a lot of guys over there already putting in the work. But on top of that, I don't necessarily feel like Bikes is actually in a good spot for streaming right now. It really needs a lot of like work done to its netcode and, you know, predictive ping and stuff like that so that we can actually see what's happening to some degree in live action. Because right now, like, everybody moving on the screen is glitching really bad, and it's not terrible to follow, but it's kind of a terrible visual for the fans at home. So I wish that they would kind of fix the netcode a little bit there so that we could see the actual playback better, even if it was post-race. Like, if the netcode worked so that after a race was done and we watched a demo file back, it was crisp and clear, because then I would probably just do like some voiceover of the two main events or something like that, but it's not, I think, where it needs to be right now. So when it does get there, I'm happy to jump over and start streaming some races. I don't think I deserve to be like, you know, right into the high-level aerial series or anything like that, but yeah, I definitely want to. I have a team that plays MX Bikes, and they're all shredding right now, so we'll get over there when it's time, you know. All right, what else am I missing out on? Yeah, don't read the chat, probably not a good idea. Will Cooper Webb get a win before Supercross ends? Good question. I really don't know. It's going to be one of, I think, 4 riders in Supercross history to not win in his title defense, which would be kind of crazy. So we'll see how that works out. Man, so much stuff coming in. What is your favorite track so far? I love this Atlanta Motor Speedway track. I'm very excited to see it raced here tonight. I don't know if I've really had a true favorite this year so far, though. But yeah. Oh, T-Lang, sorry, Kellen, having script issues due to shootouts. So what does that mean? Are we done? Or is this not happening tonight? That'll be a bummer. But yeah, we'll just keep hanging out in the chat, see what's going on. Yeah, I'm not sure. You guys got any more questions? There's so much stuff that I missed out. Yes, they are doing this in Atlanta Motor Speedway. So if you're still confused about that, I'll actually back out and kind of go over the track here so we can see some more of the racetrack here from above. But yeah, inside of Atlanta Motor Speedway, it's going to be a really interesting racetrack to watch. I think in real life, these guys tackle this racetrack. Slight chance it might rain this weekend too, which kind of sucks, but we'll see. All right. Anything else I can answer for you guys right now? Please feel free to ask it in the chat. Happy to answer those questions. Kellen, do you still ride? Fantastic question. Yes, I do still ride. Actually, let me see if I can find a picture of my current bike. Well, that's not my current bike. I wish it was. That'd be pretty sweet. Yeah, there we go. That's the bike that I ride right now. It's a old trusty CR252 stroke. But I do still ride occasionally. It's honestly been a little while now, so I got to bust this guy back out again and shred it again. But I do ride, just not as much as I did growing up, for sure. It's definitely a lot more when I was growing up. Is Eli Tomac a toe or a turtle? I don't know. That's funny. Okay, so Braden says scripts are broken at the moment. T-Lang is talking to Jeremy, so we're in officially in a holding pattern here for the East-West Showdown here in Atlanta Motor Speedway. So, yeah, any questions you guys got, feel free to send them my way. I'm happy to entertain the chat room for the time being. Yeah. Whip some laps, bring us a show. Joey Rico wants me to throw some laps down. I could do that. Give me a minute here. I'll answer a few questions first, then we'll throw some laps down. Have a little bit of fun while we're doing it. Where do you believe Ken Roczen and Webb's career is at? I mean, I think Roczen is coming towards the end of a stint with Honda. I don't know what he'll do after that, but he would like to continue racing, so to speak. So, no idea what's going to go on with him. I think Webb's at a bit of a crossroads right now because I think that, like, you know, he's not necessarily stoked to have gone back to Alden Baker's program. Like, I think he wanted to break off and do his own thing, but it didn't work. And now he's got to try to figure out, like, is he still want to remain at Red Bull KTM? His contract is up at the end of this year. He'll get paid wherever he goes, I'm sure, but it's, you know, up to where I think he feels like he can win. So we'll see what happens in the offseason. It's going to be very interesting to watch for sure. All right, so let's see what else am I missing out on. Brainiac says, not sure if you've done this already, but can we get a track walk before the race? Like me play this track in a track walk video or ride the track right now and talk about the track. I could do that in a moment, no problem, but we'll keep answering questions here for a minute. Braden Carter says, favorite style IRL? I mean, God, it's so fun watching Sexton right now. It's just like everything he does looks like it's so precise and calculated until he misses a shift on a triple on, I guess. But yeah, he's really cool. I like his style. I know I always kind of beat a dead horse with this, but if you actually watch Marvin Musquin like dissect a racetrack and like learn it, it's incredible. The way that he will pick apart like which rut is the best, whether you should go inside, outside, whether you should jump the whoops, which I know people are like, oh, jumping the whoops, but like he decides early on in the day jumping or skimming and then does that the rest of the day usually. So I like his style too, but really everybody's got like a cool, unique style that I'm into. I don't necessarily, you know, like even Barsha, I think it's like cool that he has that style of him where he just revs everything and scrubs hard and looks like he's always charging, because it's nice to have someone like Sexton that looks like he's almost not trying in some regard, and compare it to Barsha, and then they both end up going like the same speed. So I think that's really cool to talk about. Let's see what else is going on here. Did we ever hear what officially happened to Faulkner? Was it a full collarbone break, and could that even be healed in this amount of time? Yeah, it was I don't know if it fractured all the way through, but I think he did get it plated. And yeah, guys come back from collarbone injuries very quickly. That happened in Arlington, which would have been late February, and now it's, yeah, I mean, it's been over a month. I broke my collarbone when I was 12, and granted, I didn't get it plated. It just kind of like snapped, but I was back to playing baseball within like 5 weeks, I think. So, and it happened on my throwing arm too. So, yeah. Oh man, so many questions. Sorry, I'm missing out on them. Should make your CR look like a 2022 model. I mean, I kind of did with the front end of it, I guess, right? Like we pop it up again here. The front end of my CR right here is basically the 2013 and forward Honda look. And then this is obviously the old. I like these old back ends though better, a little bit better, I think, than the new Hondas. Just my opinion. All right, where are we at? Looks like we might be actually getting into the server here, so this might be positive signs. How old am I? I'm 29. Do you think that Will is going to retire or not? Will who? Trying to think of a Will. All right, where are we at here? Is this the heat race? Looks like this is our heat race that is ready to get out there on the track. Yeah, that's 250 West heat race. So we're good to go, folks. I'll try to keep answering questions up until we drop the gate here in just a moment. But finally, we are ready to go racing here in Atlanta. Got that set up. There we go. All right, lineup check right now. Should host a reflex race for my viewers, huh? Whew, man. Honestly, when I've tried to do some like just fun streams where I either play some console game like Reflex, not many people show up. I don't know why. It really is like sim and bikes. People turn up in mass to watch me play, and then I do like a Supercross, the video game stream, or Reflex or something like that, and people don't show up, so I don't get it. But anyway, we are ready and set to go racing here tonight in Atlanta, folks. Here we go. It's going to be the 250 West Heat number 1 coming up first. Let's drop the gate at AMS. Oh, it's an absolute land rush down to that first corner, swooping around the outside. It's Brandon Nygren, but surprise, surprise, always good at the starts. It's Ryan Pinkerton who's going to get out to the whole shot here. The Adept Creative Co. number 58 Yamaha rider into the lead. He's got his teammate Luke Magnetti following him in second, and Jack Gatlin on the Connect Visual KTM right there in third, trying to see where Casey Cochran might be. I think he's actually just behind these guys at about 6th or 7th over the triple on the end, or on the first lap here. We head down the sand section first time. So Pinkerton leads him through. I see Cochran making some contact in the background. Pinkerton goes for the quad. Everybody looks like they tried it at least to some degree, and I think Bordeaux just went down in the background. So heat number 1 just getting underway here. This is the 250 West Division. 20 riders qualifying in earlier on tonight out of this class to make up this first heat race of the night. The 250 East guys will be coming up after this one is complete. And only top 9 transfer into that 250 East-West Showdown coming up a little bit later on. First time we're going to see those guys really facing off against each other this year, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. So Pinkerton and Magnetti, the 2 Adept Creative Co. Yamaha teammates, really starting to streak out. A little bit of a gap on the field here. Just kind of wanted to give you guys a perspective from the outside here, what the track looks like as we follow Pinkerton around at the end of the first full complete lap. He's going to go through the whoop section right here. Down the inside, there's a little tiny bump on the inside, and then guys will hit a rut that we'll see get a little bit deeper throughout the night. Another few bumps through that corner, up and over a big double, and then back through that RaceFactorGaming.com whole shot area. So Pinkerton still leads. Magnetti is right on his heels, though. Jack Gatlin, he slipped back a little ways, but he's still holding on to third right now. Oh, and that is Pinkerton going down. So just as soon as we switch away from Pinkerton, he hits the deck and is going to fall back behind this Freight Trainer Riders. So our new leader now, Luke Magnetti, taking it over from Balzer on the 37, Ruma Suzuki, who moves into second, but Gatlin back down the inside, going to take it back on that KTM. Casey Cochran also in the mix. They got a couple different line options coming through here, and Sullivan on the 11 trying to quad into the whoops, now pulls up alongside Cochran. He's getting sideways. He barrel rolls, but he rides out of it. Somehow he didn't go down. I think Pinkerton went down again. Cochran had to take evasive action and not hit Sullivan, who just barrel rolled in the whoops and made a pass in the progress. He is up into third place. So it is Magnetti leading from Gatlin. You got Sullivan there in third. Balzer slides back to fourth, and Cochran remains in fifth. There is 4 riders in line right there. That is second through fifth on your screen. Kind of hop their way through the sand up and over the Supercross triple. Dualies! Sullivan and Balzer laying it over. Balzer dives down the inside in the sweeper, and they cross back over each other. Really cool to see how that line plays out. That's a little bit more than a 180-degree sweeper, so it's got kind of a unique sense to it where it just feels like it goes on forever, and Balzer taking advantage to pass Sullivan. Now he might be trying to get around Gatlin as well. And indeed, Balzer, the Danish rider on the Ruma Suzuki, busts the triple quad and moves back into second place. So Magnetti continues to lead the way. These guys are only going 6 minutes plus a lap, but based on these lap times, it's going to be interesting to see how this kind of works out, because he's going to check in at about maybe a little bit after 4 minutes in, about 4:10 probably this time by. Runs another solid lap. He's just going to beat the marker back before the 6-minute mark. So 4:06 is when he had crossed officially right there. Rasmus Balzer there in second place. Gatlin third. Cochran, I think pretty much just willing at this point to run it home safely in fourth. Doesn't want to make a mistake and cost himself a transfer spot. The last thing you want to do tonight, if you're the championship leader, is find yourself in that last chance qualifier, because it's not just one coast. That is the first time we will see the East and West riders meet up, is in that last chance qualifier. Everybody that finishes 9th through 20th, or excuse me, 10th through 20th out of this heat race will meet up in the LCQ, where only 4 riders go through. So if you're Cochran sitting in that championship lead, I think goal number 1 is simply make the main event. Doesn't matter where you finish in this heat race. Right now, he is looking very solid in 4th place. Behind him, it is Sullivan, so he's gotten back around Sullivan, who we saw almost going down in the whoops there moments ago. Tanner Thorson back here in 6th. Matt Cromie running in 7th. Dylan Love right there in 8th, with Trevor Spencer in 9th. And Pinkerton has slipped back outside of a transfer spot in 10th, but he is right on the tail. Both Trevor Spencer there and Dylan Love, as Love is going to make a mistake going under the tunnel. Oh, rider down. That's Thorson. So the 90 machine of Thorson is going to actually slip back to 11th as his teammate Holden Cody goes by on the Proline Designs Honda. So that opens up a bit of a gap between our lead 9 and those riders back there. Magnetti checks in at 5:40, so we're going to have, these guys are going to get the white flag when the clock hits about like 7:10. So this is a long race right here, folks. This is almost going to be a 9-minute heat race. Guy's going to be out there for a long time. How about Rasmus Balzer, though? Starting to actually close that gap down. 131.4 last time by to a 132.8, so he's about 1.4 seconds faster than Magnetti, 2.6 seconds down with 2 laps to go here. Gap starting to come down a little bit more, but Balzer, sending caution to the wind right there through the whoops. Stick on board here with the Rumis Suzuki rider here for just a moment as we see him trying to close this gap down. And kind of roll that in, step on, step off. Then you want to triple this, downside that perfectly if you can to quad out, but he doesn't quite get it. Doesn't really matter though. It looks like Magnetti may have made a small mistake in front of him. So not a whole lot really going on in terms of fluctuation between those riders. I think that's the line you want to do right there. 3-3-3 if you can. Out of this corner, you're going to triple in, downside that clean, and he is going to get the quad, but Magnetti also got it in the race lead. Magnetti's getting sideways in the whoops. I had to come to nearly a stop, and here we go. We're going to have a fight for the lead here. 250 heat number 1. It's the West Coast riders. 7 minutes have come and gone on the clock, and the white flag will now be waving. There you can see it on the right-hand side of your screen. 130.5 to a 132.8 again. So Balzer has nearly completely closed that gap down in a matter of 2 laps. And here we go, folks, trying to go for the race lead down the inside. Interesting to see how this line works out. Oh, they land on each other. Magnetti lands on Balzer's back, and they both go down. Will that allow Cochran to perhaps close in from behind? He's going to be right there as they get going, nearly side by side, and suddenly Cochran's in the mix for the battle out front. So we'll see if Balzer, is he going to be annoyed with the way that played out or what? Nice little layover there for Balzer. Look at this, cuts back underneath. He's going to go right to the outside meet. Magnetti there, but Magnetti does the same thing again, but Balzer around the outside holds it on a little bit longer. Now Magnetti around the outside here. He's going to get the pass back. Back and forth we go, but he cases the double. Balzer takes over the lead. Magnetti back to second. And now Cochran right there in third, sensing an opportunity perhaps. Oh, nearly contact between the teammates right there, battling for second, and the 2 riders battling for the championship lead. This is actually all 3 of our championship leaders out front. Balzer entering tonight's action 9 points down of Cochran in the championship. Magnetti entering 7 points down. Points will not be paid for this heat race, but of course, these guys will be able to stamp their tickets to the main events right here as we come to the checkered flag in a few moments. Magnetti's got a great drive into the whoops, but Balzer holds it on. Magnetti wheeling out of the whoops as well. But up and over the tunnel jump one more time. Here we go, folks. Rasmus Balzer is going to take the win in 250 heat number 1 here in Atlanta. Magnetti second, Cochran third, and Sullivan there in 4th. Holden Cody worked his way up inside the top 5. Matt Cromie, he's down right here before the finish line jump. Oh, and getting into him, that's going to be Jack Gatland, and that might save Matt Cromie. Oh, riders down over the tunnel jump. Vanderbeek was down. Spencer, Bordeaux, and Cromie go to the main event. Vanderbeek, first rider to miss out. Seth Shirley, Jack Gatland, Ryan Pinkerton, Seth Crotty, Dylan Love, Dominic Paolini, Jet Holyhead, Aaron Rockefeller, Brandon Nygren, all headed to the last chance qualifier. Tough luck in the end right there for Vanderbeek, who went down on the backside of the tunnel jump. I think he also went down maybe with Gatland. Gatland, well, he was down before the triple there, so maybe, did he go down with Shirley? There was a KTM rider, but I didn't see who it was. Vanderbeek was the other rider that was upside down after the tunnel jump. So we'll have to wait for Cuts to officially come in and see if he is not going to make the main event. You never really know. These long tracks, longer race, and plenty of opportunity to cut the track in a few areas if you make a mistake. 2.5 seconds isn't necessarily the safest gap that I've ever seen, so we'll see if it holds steady as we got one more rider yet to finish. And then the second heat race will be coming up after that. And Cuts are in. No, it stays the same. So Chromie, Bordeaux, Spencer, Thorson, Cody Sullivan, Cochran, Magnetti, and Balzer to the main event out of the West Group. Rasmus Balzer winning 250 heat number 1. All right, 250 heat number 2 coming up next. Just want to let you guys know real quick that actually threw my back out last night. Went to the chiropractor today. I had a couple vertebrae that were a little bit knocked loose. So they're back in place, but I'm very sore still and having a little bit of a tough time breathing tonight. So I apologize if there's a couple times I may just take like a minute to catch my breath here and there because I can't take a full breath in. But yeah, just trying to get through here tonight. So again, just want to let you guys know in advance if you're wondering why I take like a full minute of not talking for a moment. Just catch my breath, folks. That's all that's going on. All right, so coming up next, 250 East heat race action. We saw the West boys. Now it is time for the East riders. See how they can fare on this Atlanta Motor Speedway track. And yeah, Bryce Whelan winning last time out in St. Louis. See if he can keep the ball rolling here tonight in Atlanta Motor Speedway. No, it's actually, it's kind of like mid to lower back. I thought it was a rib out. I've had ribs out before, and it was a similar sensation, but the chiropractor said, no, you had a couple tweaked vertebra, and what he said, and I've had this happen before too, is like they tweak and then they displace just a little bit, so they start putting pressure on the muscles on either side of your vertebra, and you know, then they start to cause swelling, so you need to get some of that lactic acid down in your muscles, which means that like once they reset, you still have all that swelling, which is what I had overnight. I actually couldn't sleep for like 3 hours last night, but yeah, it's honestly, I just can't take like a full breath in without some pain. So it's really just that's the only thing that's really deterring me at this point. I'm back to everything back in place at this point. All right, 250 East action. Tomic, Fowler, Stevenson. A lot of big names in this one. Tomic going to end up down the far inside with John Heilman. Where is Bryce Whelan? Donnie Padani also in here. Rogan McIntosh. Cade Matherly up the inside. Who's going to get that all-important hole shot? Gates are down. 32 of Frank Jackson, the 29 of Gerst side by side into the first corner, but out of the middle, was that Padani or Seth Carr? It's actually Seth Carr who slipped through, but Gerst will come out with the hole shot. So Ethan Gerst leads him through. Oh, Carr went for the quad and landed on Gerst, and several riders are going down. Nearly everybody stacked up, and your race leader is going to be John Heilman. So Heilman goes from, I think, 5th or 6th to the race lead just like that. Going to come over and block his teammate Frank Jackson from coming through. Looks like nobody really able to get the quad clean first lap, so no big advantage gained right there. Heilman side by side with Frank Jackson through the whoop section. Everybody kind of scrubbing over that double jump. And, a couple of guys coming up short. Jackson shoots through to the inside to take the race lead. Dooley's over the finish line jump as well. And, boy, oh boy, this is the Phil's Honda heat race right here. 3 Phil's Hondas out front, and they all make a mistake on the inside rut right there. Heilman to the outside, McIntosh to the inside, splitting Frank Jackson. And Heilman's going to triple his way through and take the race lead. So it works out for the 44 machine. Still guys swapping back and forth, and contact right there. Frank Jackson getting into one of the Husqvarna riders, and here comes your points leader, Tomic, jumping his way through into 3rd place. So this is exactly what Tomic needed to have happen right here, was to take advantage of a couple early mistakes and try to put himself in a good position, similar to what we saw out of Cochran. Try to hold on to this 3rd position. Work your way forward if you can, but don't rush anything. This is his championship counterpart right here. 18 points down entering the evening. Bryce Whelan trying to make those points back. 19 points down. It's 18 in the 450 class. We'll see in a few moments. But 19 points back for Whelan. And this could be a huge opportunity tonight for Whelan, as he's going to quad into the whoops right here, pull up alongside Tomic. And Bryce Whelan shooting through into 3rd place. Certainly could be a very big opportunity for Whelan to gain back a lot more points in this championship, because there are going to be a lot more fast riders towards the front of this field in this East-West Showdown tonight. So if Whelan is able to get on the podium or even win the race with Tomic, not necessarily even having a bad race, but I mean, like, he could be the 3rd or 4th best 250 East rider on the track, still end up just barely inside of the top 10 with the way that things shake down here tonight. So, yeah, Whelan going to be certainly sensing the opportunity laid in front of him here. See if he can take it. Right now, though, Tomic just sticking with him, not letting the 45 machine get away, kind of matching his pace. And through the whoops we go. We haven't really seen much of our 2 leaders, though. Heilman is able to get into the race lead quite early here, and has since managed to just kind of keep a small gap over his teammate Rogan McIntosh, as we're coming up to complete the end of lap number 3 here in a few moments. But Heilman coming across the start straight right there, just carrying a lot of speed into the Supercross triple. I think that Supercross triple is actually a little bit bigger than the normal triples we have. It feels like it pops you up pretty good this week. Everything a little bit bigger, it seems like, on this racetrack, just because of the higher speeds that you really can carry all throughout the racetrack. So I think the Race Factory Gaming track crew had to go to work a little bit, maybe make some things perhaps a bit bigger than they probably wanted to, just to make sure riders couldn't clear some ridiculous lines. But there's still some big lines being done, no question about it. We'll see whether or not the 450 guys a little bit later on have some things that they can do that we haven't quite seen out of the 250 riders yet. Whelan and Jackson now going at it for 2nd. So Tomic must have went down, because I think he had moved into 2nd place again. And yeah, here he is battling with Brett Powers. I think this is for 7th position. Ian Powers coming over the finish line jump right there. And then Luke Fauser just behind them. So Fauser is in 8th position. Jeff Giffen running in 9th. And Brandon Holmes behind them in 10th. I think it was Holmes, that Husqvarna rider, that went down early on, getting collected with everybody in that early melee. But Fauser just working on keeping Brett Powers right in front of him. Oh! A little sideways. Into the whoops they go, and you can certainly see that Fauser is pushing, trying to close that gap down to Brett Powers behind him. Look at this inside line perhaps for Fauser. Step on, step off, gets the triple, but a little bit higher than Powers went, and had to see past the 2nd triple as well. So Powers getting the advantage right there, and these two will continue battling. Johnny Padani has slipped back behind Tyron Tomic, so it looks like the Hungarian rider, as I keep getting it wrong, Johnny Padani out of Hungary, slipping back there behind Tomic, Seth Carr, Frank Jackson, and Bryce Whelan, all still giving chase to this man, John Heilman. So we're at 5 minutes and 45 seconds gone, which means the white flag will wave next time by. So 2 to go right now in the East heat race for the 250 East-West Showdown here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. John Heilman making it look a little too easy right now. It's been an up and down year for this Phil Ski and Snowboard Honda rider on the 44 machine. Has straight up missed some main events, jumped teams as well, and now finds himself maybe having a little bit more steady situation. Oh, wheeling down after the whoops. So Jackson goes by. That might be it. Yeah, I think Jackson was the only one really within striking distance there. Seth Carr will close up, as will Tomic, but neither able to get close enough to pass Whelan after he went down. Must have just gotten a weird kick at the end of the whoops and then laid it over. It wasn't really a... it looked like a big off of any kind, just kind of sliding into our view there. So he'll continue on. Again, just really about limiting the mistakes on this racetrack tonight. It is big, it is fast, and it can reach up and bite these guys in a hurry. So the last thing you want to do if you're any of these guys is crash in a good position here in this heat race. But Frank Jackson goes down now, and that should put Whelan back into second place. Actually, him and Tomic are side by side into the whoops. So Tomic back into second. Whelan goes barrel rolling and somehow survives. Just like we saw out of Luke Sullivan. What is up with these guys tonight and barrel rolling in the whoops? Well, good thing for Whelan, though. He is going to hold on to that third position for the time being. Tomic still in second, but they're all chasing this man, John Heilman. White flag has been waved, so the final lap for our race leader. Whelan actually slipping into the clutches a little bit here of Seth Carr on the 35 machine. Carr's got this inside line. Let's see if he can make it work. Trying to hop into that double line. Just quite can't get over it. So Whelan fights back around the outside. But now Carr trying to show a nose up the inside. Didn't quite get there just yet either. 15-second lead for John Heilman here on this last lap of the race. Frank Jackson also trying to put his name in the hat for this position in third place here. Coming up from fifth. Oh, Whelan short big time, as did Seth Carr. Jackson hopping into the frame here now, gets around his teammate into fourth. As Seth Carr takes off with third place ahead of him. So he gets a run down this straightaway into the sand section. Meanwhile, out front, our race leader, John Heilman, gonna come through and take the win here in 250 heat race number 2, the East Heat race at Atlanta. Tomic, Carr, Whelan, Jackson looks like they will stay in line right here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Whelan tried to get close to Carr in the end, but it'll stay as is. Brett Powers is going through in 6th, Bowser in 7th, Padani in 8th, and Gerst trying to hold on in 9th to the flag. Lane Wofford is going to get close, but miss out by 6/10 in the end. So too did Rogan McIntosh. Another 6/10 behind Wofford, Jeff Giffen, Bodie Parker, Cade Matherly, Braden Tharp, Hayden Stevenson, Carson West, Brandon Holmes, and Yannick Hansen and Bertram Hansen. A couple of Hansens back of the pack right there. Not sure what happened to Bertram, but didn't quite make it through in this one. We'll see him in the LCQ in a few, though. In the meantime, though, John Heilman taking the win here in 250 heat number 2. All right, cuts are in. Looks like a couple things changed up here. Brett Powers loses a position to Luke Fowser, so Fowser ends up 6th, but the rest stays the same. Gerst skirts in by the skin of his teeth there in P9, which means Wofford, McIntosh, and the rest will be headed to the last chance qualifier, while John Heilman leads the rest of the field to the main event. All right, 450 heat number 1 coming up next. And this is the big boys. It's going to be a little bit of a lackluster heat race for both 450 heat 1 and 2 tonight, because I think we only have 33 riders with lap times here. Heilman tossing it out there. Yeah, let's go Bonut. Hashtag start your business up in here. Of course Donut MX fans are here. All right. Someone tell Donut to make a video, right? For sure. Come on, Don. Where you been, dude? We need the Don Pound again. Where's the Don Pound? Is it possible for someone to send the finish line jump into the other section? Like, quad the whole thing? Maybe? I haven't really tried it. Yeah, of course everyone's a Donut fan. It's like Sebastian Vettel when he talks about Ferrari, when he says everybody is a Ferrari fan. Even if you work for Mercedes, you're a Ferrari fan. It's like, yeah, I mean, I make YouTube videos. Don makes YouTube videos, but I'm a Don fan. Like, all day long. But I'm also a fan of Marcus Schmeasley, who's here as well. What's up, Marcus? How you been? Good to see ya. Send it and warm up. All right, let's check it out. I'm down. How high are the ceilings in Steven's mansion? Think of like the most, like just completely high faded version of Snoop Dogg you've ever seen, and they're like about that high. Oh yeah, you could definitely quad that, but will you land it? It's another question, I guess. But seriously, Steve's house is very big and he downplays it way too much. Let's see if I go a little bit shorter if the run-in's better. Oh, that might be it. No, just a little short. Ah! There was an attempt. Another thing to think about, though, with that is I don't know that the double landing is actually big enough. Might be just a tad too small. All right, let's go into the bales this time. Out. Oh, I didn't get a chance. All right. All right, 450 heat numero uno on the gate. Who we got? Logan Leitzel's in this one. Nick Sellen. I'm not going to Denver SX, but I am calling the action from Atlanta. Braden Carter, Payson Johnson, and the rest of them. Here we go, 450 heat one. Land rush into that first corner. Oh, Leitzel ran it a little deep. Alex Heckman a little deep as well, and it's going to be Payson Johnson getting the whole shot. Nick Sellen alongside of him. Sellen wants redemption this week. Carter up in a third. Everybody going 3-4 right there. Getting a little bit of a gap. Johnson, nice. Triple in. Nearly quadding in the middle of the sand right there. And these guys should get this triple quad easy. Just downside it, pop it. Like even sitting down, Johnson like barely even had to seat bounce it. Oh, Sellen down hard. Oh, and Johnson down hard as well. So that's going to hand over Carter. Gets the race lead. Thomas Sunas moves to second. Got Heckman was in third. Must have just went down or something. Back to fifth. Now Carter cases the finish line jump. And it's a little bit of a rough go out here for some of these guys. Nick Stellan's down in P9. Of course, these 450 guys are going to 3-3 right there. Carter will come through here and hop this inside double into the sand. Double again. Stick on board with him here for just a minute. Because he's got free air, I feel like he might do some cool stuff that we haven't seen so far. Oh, or go down. Front end tuck. So Nick Tomasunis to the race lead. MXLocker.com. Nikki T hit me up actually last week and offered to send me a couple MXLocker.com stuff to kind of pump the brand a little bit. And I happily obliged. It's always good to help out Nikki T. Now he's leading the heat race, so he doesn't even need my help, man. MXLocker.com showing up at the front of the field here in the 450 class. So he leads the way now. It's Castellaneta into second, Donovan third, Carter back to fourth, Speck fifth, Johnson sixth, Mills seventh, Selin eighth, and Bob Joe rounding out our transfer spots. So there's actually still some heavy hitters not quite in transfer spot just yet in this tight-knit train right here. Everybody really trying hard to stay on top of those whoops. We got somebody literally helicoptering into the jump face. It was Caden Speck. Bob Joe's going to go by, and I think Speck is going to lose the final transfer spot. Yeah, that was, I believe, Blakely that went through. Tomasunis now under attack. Here comes Braden Castellaneta. Tomasunis did officially lead a lap of this heat race. Now just trying to hold on the 6-9. Carter going to shoot through into second, or maybe not. Castellaneta trying to fight back. Carter will get that spot, and Castellaneta ends up really messing up in the sand section. Here comes Chase Donovan. Sally Slow-Mo himself on the 81 HHR Husqvarna. Just giving her. Going after Braden Carter for second place here. Just saying, I do not care if you are the reigning champion, good sir. Close that gap down, try to make a pass if I can. Trying to see if anybody did a different line through here, but I think this is just too much the way to go with this quad out, and Carter gonna jump over top of Tomasunis to take the race lead again. Carter back to the front, Tomasunis second, Donovan third, Johnson fourth, and Castellaneta once again rounding out our top five. Johnson cutting down early alongside Donovan. Got the quad there, and then right through past Tomasunis, who did not get the quad beforehand. So now it turns into Johnson versus Carter out front, which is likely the battle we were hoping to see from this heat race. We're going to see it play out right about now. Again, these guys are going 6 minutes plus a lap, so pretty similar situation, I feel like, to what we saw in the 250 class, where going to kind of boil down, wow, how is Payson Johnson even making that work? Or it's going to boil down to how close to the timer they get for that final lap. Blitzing right over the top of those whoops right there. Very nicely done. Rubbing that big double. Does Johnson do anything different? Oh yeah, going over and then trying to go quad. What are you even made of, Payson Johnson? Right now he's made of glass because he is on the ground. So Carter's gonna have a big lead again as Tomasunis still slides back into second place. Castellaneta and Donovan side by side. Here comes Nick Selin as Castellaneta cases the triple. Kind of rodeos on the ground there a little bit and might lose a transfer spot as well. Now he's going to fall back to just inside of a transfer spot in ninth. Austin Bear too far back, but Hubbard went by, as did Bob Joe. Daniel Mills. Oh, Donovan down before the whoops. That is a rough spot to go down. He's going to have to try to get a drive into them now. Going to end up kind of hopping through them. Double all the way through. Just painful. And that happens. And off the side of the track was D Mills, I believe, just getting back on right there as well. Oh, our race leader has changed. Tomasunis has gone back to the front again. And these guys, again, missing that timer by, I don't know, 20 seconds? So now time has just expired. which means white flag next time by, but there's still 2 to go. And man, Nick Sellen kind of coming out of nowhere on the JIBR.co KTM, finding his way into a battle for the race lead. Up the inside, pulling alongside Tomasunis, who jumps off the track and have to rejoin, and Sellen does indeed go to the front. So Johnson, see if he tries that quad line again. Oh, no, cased it. So Tomasunis gonna nail the 3-4 just fine right there, and Johnson has to settle back into 3rd place. Our new leader, Nick Sellen. Those of you with us last week, St. Louis for the Triple Crown, Sellen came within 1 lap of winning his first career MotoOption Supercross main event. Wasn't just a race of the Triple Crown, it was the full shebang as Johnson cases the quad and goes down, but Sellen crashed in the whoops, coming to the white flag of a race that he was going to win, the 3rd race, and take with him the Triple Crown victory at St. Louis, and crashed in heartbreaking fashion, just missed out on the overall to Carter. Now back this week trying to avenge his mistake, and looking good so far in this heat race of coming back and maybe taking a heat race victory, but ran a little high in that corner right there, so Tomasunis is still sitting back here. Oh, getting sideways in the sand, though, and Tomasunis is going to go back to the race lead. Tomasunis into the whoops now. Can he win this heat race? Boy, that would be really cool for the 69 machine here if he can get it done. Trying to hold off that pressure from behind. Ends up getting sideways. That's going to cost him a lot of time. Sellen just able to squeeze by right there, and here comes Carter as well. Wow, Carter 4-3? I don't know that I've seen anybody actually do that. Gets back on the track just in front of Tomasunis in 2nd place, but Nick Sellen has taken over the race lead. And ultimately come down to the whoops, but Sellen runs high in the berm. Just gets that triple in clean to still bust the quad, no problem. And you get through the whoops clean, though. Oh, yeah. Nicely done in the end. Right on top of him all the way through. Up and over the double and over the tunnel jump he comes. And Nick Sellen's going to bring it home to win 450 heat number 1. Uh-oh, Carter versus Hubbard to the flag. It's going to go to Carter. Hubbard in 3rd. Bob Joe will pick up P4. Tomasunis almost won the heat race. Ends up, looks like he might slip back to 6th here. Trying to back down the finish line. Jump crosses there in 6th behind D-Mills. Castellaneta 7th. Donovan here in 8th. Johnson went down. Not sure how he ended up right there, but he's going to lose a transfer spot. Logan Leitzel goes to the main event. Johnson to the LCQ. Cavacuti will come across 11th. Blakely will be 12th. Heckman 13th. Austin Bear 14th. Peter Like 15th. Trent Adams 16th. Speck 17th. And myself in warm-up mode there out of this one. Oh, Peter Like, I think that was, getting all kinds of slideways there. Trent Adams also went down at the end of the whoops. Like might have a chance to double over top of him. Uh-oh, it's a drag race to the finish. Up and over the tunnel, Trent Adams. Not quite going to get there. All right, take a look at cuts. And yeah, Johnson is out. Going to the LCQ. But Nick Sellen taking the heat race victory here for JIBR.co. All right, 450 Heat 2 coming up next. Nick Tomasunis just showing up here in the chat saying that was his heat race. And indeed, tossed it away a little bit there right at the end. So close. That's all good, man. The big 6'9" still going to the main event. Obviously, that is the ultimate end goal. Making it happen. All right, It's going to take a little bit longer to get through the program here tonight. I've learned that they are going with the manual scripting just to make everything work, which, boy, I did manual scripting when I was running these races back in 2013, and that is not very fun. Not very fun at all. Someone asked me to do transfers. I don't know what's a good transfer on this track. I did think I found one a little bit earlier on, but I'm not sure if it's landable. Go down here and try to bust it out. The reason I don't know if it's landable is because you, like, literally have to downside something perfectly, and I just don't know if it's possible. It's a little bit hooked to... Yeah, it's probably possible. Downside the tunnel right there. You can also jump it backwards because the tunnel landing is basically vertical. It's really about getting through the tough blocks clean, I think, is what really matters. And then, obviously, doing it, like, right next to the whoops right here. I hooked and went right again. Don't have the distance either, though. Yeah, downside that tunnel could be one. Probably this berm down here to, well, no. There's a couple. I'll find some. Check it out next time through. Think I'll ever do another SYS compound ride day. Yeah, I mean, I want to do those again. Honestly, what it comes down to is time for me. Since I became a dad, I just don't have many like free nights of the week to dedicate to doing like a full ride day thing like that was. But yeah, I want to. Dylan Romero says, who do you have in your top 3 IRL if track conditions are prime in both classes? P.S. Super stoked to see Jet and Craig go at it. That's a good question. I feel like Atlanta is like, you believe that it suits Eli Tomac probably the best. But he also didn't win at every single one of the Atlantas last year. I'll go Tomac. Tomac, Barsha, Anderson, top 3 450s. No, sorry. I'll go Tomac, Sexton, Barsha, top 3 450s. And then I'll go... I'm going to go Hunter Lawrence wins the showdown. And then... yeah, probably just Jet and Craig in whatever order. Second and third. Reason I think Lawrence wins the showdown is because I don't think Jet or Christian really care right now about winning the showdown. Like, they say they kind of do, but I think that for them it's like, let's just get through this race good. No need to get in any dumb antics. They both have huge championship leads. Not really any point to ruin that. You know what I mean? So, like, I can see Hunter Lawrence getting the lead early and just taking away with it. So... all right, 450 Heat 2 on the track. T-Lang, Caleb Hall, Ethan Parks. Didn't even know we had that gear. Am I just dumb? Jay Turner, Devin Davis, Jack Haley, Colby Eaglin, Alex Kerr, Jaden Wilson, Trevor Burns. Of course, we'll see Alexis Leclerc in this heat race as well. We'll see how he fares in this one. For Zaka, Dakota French, Chris Post, Anna Rogers, Devin Davis, Jeremy Siebel, T-Lang, and Leclerc, as mentioned. They are all ready and set to go. Final 450 heat race of the night, ready to go in Atlanta. big hole shot for Leclerc as they go storming into that first corner. Long start straight here, and Leclerc takes full advantage of it to grab the hole shot. So it's Leclerc. Jack Haley right there, side by side with Robert Wilson. Or excuse me, that's for Zach, I actually believe, on Robert Wilson's bike. But he went off the track, lost some position, so he slides back. It is for Zach on the 74, but Leclerc leads them through the sand here on lap 1. So Leclerc, Haley, Chris Post, T-Lang, Wilson for Zach Kerr, Eagland. Riders going down. That was one of the Panini Motorsports Yamaha riders. No, it wasn't Eagland or Siebold, and it wasn't Leclerc either. Chris Post ending up going backwards off the side of the track right here. Got to be careful with that tracker entry right there, Sunshine. Ends up cross-jumping into a couple people there. But Leclerc will safely, on his Safe Moon Yamaha, lead at the end of lap number 1. Triple in, triple again. Easily done for the 7. T-Lang moves into second place, and Lang, who actually missed the main event last time out, I believe it was in St. Louis, or it might have been in Seattle the week before that. But yeah, Lang is an interesting story in this championship because he's won 2 races now. He won at Indy, and he won at Daytona. He also missed a main event recently. But he's an outdoor guy, more or less, right? He won the 2021 Race Factor Gaming National Championship and then wins Daytona, his first career Supercross main event victory. Now, he did follow it up with that win in Indy, like I mentioned, but obviously these long tracks arguably suit his style a bit better. Might be coming out here ready to play for this main event victory a little bit later on tonight. All Leclerc out front right now, literally tripling his way through the sand. Triples into this section, quite easily done. Busts the quad right after, gets on that rear tire planted, and then just right on top of the whoops all the way through. Little left-right kick at the end, but it was very minute. Solid look right now for the 7. Want to check a lap time on him real quick and see where he's at. 129 flat for Leclerc. Lang behind him, 130.6. So there's the difference, 129.1 for Eagland. Siebold 131.2. Oh, Siebold went for the quad. Oh, and he went down. OJ'd and off the bike. So Trevor Burns will just pass Siebold by a nose, but Siebold's going to fight back and repass Burnsy. Wonder if those two might not be in the same Discord even. So Tanner Rogers, Jack Haley, Caleb Hall, and Devin Davis rounding out our top 9 behind those riders. Alex Kerr looks like he is right behind Devin Davis, so we'll be checking on that battle shortly. Wanted to see if Eagland might make a run for second place, but turns out he will not. So we'll go back to this battle for the final transfer spot. There is Alex Kerr right behind Devin Davis. Oh, Kerr goes down, pushing through the whoops, and up the inside around him goes Jay Turner. So Turner now moves up into 10th spot. For Zaka, Dakota French, Chris Post, Tyler Shields, Ethan Parks, Alex Kerr, and Jaden Wilson. So that's our running order right now. So we go back and check in with Leclerc out front. Lang keeping him close and honest. Whoa, 27.9 to a 29.1. T-Lang putting on the afterburners. Rogers just went down across the start straight. I was going to go see if Siebold's doing this jump line again. Nope. Backing out of the challenge. Just staying alongside Caleb Hall right there and going down. All right, so maybe we need to keep an eye on what's going on at the front, because Lang is starting to close that gap down to Leclerc just a little bit. 3 seconds now under 3. But clearly, one of the fastest riders on the track, 27.9. I believe it is the fastest lap we've seen out of the heat race so far. It's not the fastest overall lap that we've seen, but Lang certainly flying around this racetrack right now. Going to get over that quad with relative ease, carries so much speed across the start straight, and now has this gap closer to that 2-second mark than the 3-second mark. So Lang is certainly coming. Just a matter of time now at this point before he might get up and trying to make a pass on Leclerc for this race lead. Where will these guys cross this time by? 5:09 on the clock right now. Lang just solid in the whoops right there, but Leclerc has been pretty good in them as well. Kind of evens out. Up and over the tunnel jump they go. So 5:22 is when they cross. So, 38 seconds left before time were to expire. Lang long on the finish line jump. Nice save, but lost a lot of ground by doing that. So it goes from just 2 seconds down to probably 3.7 in the end. Our top three are absolutely gone. Colby Eaglin right there finds himself up in third place. Here's fourth place, Jack Haley. And there's Seabolt. Let's see if Seabolt goes for the jump again. Nope, just backing out, doing the normal finish line jump now. Here's Tanner Rogers in 7th. Caleb Hall right there in 8th. And Chris Post back in the final transfer spot in 9th. So Posty, missed that inside rut though. Here comes Shields with Kevin Frazaka there right behind him. Confusing because it looks like Robert Wilson, but it is Frazaka on Wilson's bike. Post gonna hop that double. Oh, sideways. Yeah, he went down. Chris Post down, and Frazaka, the 540 to fakie, goes down as well. So Shields moves into the final transfer spot and suddenly has a 5-second buffer behind him. Oh, Frazaka just absolutely launched Chris Post off the track, but I don't think that was on purpose. I think Post might have been invisible or something. That was a little bit peculiar the way that worked out. White flag is out. 3.7 seconds still the gap between our race leaders. And Trevor Burns, I believe. Oh, no, excuse me. It is Jay Turner. So Turner got around Shields. Shields had moved in that final transfer spot, but now it's Turner. Yeah, BR.co, number 259. Triple quad into that section. Very nicely done. And it's going to be up to him. He's got the gap. We'll see whether he can hold on to that spot or not. All going to come down to the final lap of the race. Trevor Burns, Caleb Hall just ahead of him. Everybody messing up that corner a little bit except Burns, who scoots down the inside to pass Caleb Hall and closes up behind Tanner Rogers. Good little battle here for what I believe is 6th position. Oh, man. Tanner Rogers just got real sideways. Nice save, but Burns does shoot by. You got Seabolt, Jack Haley, Eagland. Oh, Lang did get the lead. Lang did get the lead away from Leclerc. Oh, but he cases the quad and goes down, so Leclerc gets right back by. Wow, not sure what happened, but Lang had gotten to the race lead right here towards the end of the lap. In the end, though, it will be Leclerc who survives the attack to win 450 heat number 2. Eagland, his teammate, will settle down here in 2nd position, and Lang will end up in 3rd place. And also ran a 27 flat, fastest lap of the race as well. So he and Leclerc certainly put down the burners. Jack Haley ends up in 4th in this one, with Seabolt rounding out the top 5. Trevor Burns in 6th, Caleb Hall 7th, Tanner Rogers 8th, and Jay Turner looking smooth here in 9th. Just has to get through this whoop section. He should be good to go. Little hop there, little skip there, but all good in the end. Up and over this big double jump, downsides that. Big wall jump here, downsides that. And Jay Turner goes to the main event with P9. Dakota French, Kevin Frazaka, Chris Post, Ethan Parks, Jaden Wilson, Devin Davis, Alex Kerr, Tyler Shields, all heading to the last chance qualifier. But top 9 will be following this man to the main event, Alexis Leclerc, on the Safe Moon, backed by Panini Motorsports Yamaha. Hey, back in studio, and a little Holly Brower on the screen. Holly, look, who's on screen? Can you say hi? Can you wave? Yeah, blowing kisses to everybody. Ollie, can you tell the people what the cow says? Yeah. What are you doing with the microphone? You gonna eat it? What does the monkey say? Oh yeah, that's it. Can you say hi to all the people? She's like, what people? I don't see anybody. Yeah, there's the dirt bike. Okay, wait, bye-bye. Mwah. Love you. Oh, gonna kiss the microphone? Say bye-bye. Oh, taking that with you? It's my daughter, folks. Need that back, thank you. All right, folks. Love you. Get back in the live screen here. Get ready to go racing. It's LCQ time coming up. Yeah, it's always good to get a little Holly Brower on camera. Shout out my wife, by the way, because if it wasn't for her, I mean, I don't know. I couldn't do these streams. She's the one that takes care of our daughter when we do these streams. So shout out to her. Am I going to commentate outdoors with Weege? No. But I will say, you guys ask a lot, when are we going to get, excuse me, Weege back in studio for a sim race? I think that's happening, folks. Not going to confirm it. But there has been progress being made, so. All right, 250 last chance qualifier. And hey, folks, this is the first time the East and the West have met. Buddy Parker, Ryan Pinkerton, Maxime Vanderbeek, Cade Matherly, Hayden Stevenson, Alec Horn, Rogan McIntosh, Jack Gatland, Lane Wofford, Dylan Love, Dominic Paolini, Braden Tharp, Seth Crotty, Jet Holyhead, Brandon Nygren, Yannick Hansen, Aaron Rockefeller. 22 riders go to the gate. 11 from the East, 11 from the West, and only 4 of them will join the rest of the participants for the East-West Showdown. There we go, back in the race, ready to go racing here, folks. Who is going to make it to the main event? And who's going home unhappy? 250 East-West LCQ right now. Not the best start for Gatland up the middle. Pinkerton had the inside but goes down. Coming through is Jeff Giffen. Oh, it wasn't Pinkerton that went down. It was one of his teammates, though, I believe. No, it was Pinkerton. Tharp is the 53 machine that moves into second place right there. Alec Horn on the 59. Gatland came out well in fourth. So our top 4, bit of a gap. Quadsy's out front. Everybody hopping through those sand rollers. Oh, Gatland goes for the kill on Alec Horn. Causes a bit of a ruckus behind him. Nobody's really getting through this rhythm section very well. And it's Seth Shirley, I believe, that's moved into fourth. It is. So Shirley hopping through the whoops a little bit right there. Mid-season transition from the ATOM.com gas program over to this Boots House Yamaha. Now running down, Braden Tharp just ahead of him. Jack Gatland as well. But they're all chasing Jeff Giffen on the 329 machine. Uh-oh, Giffen launching off the side of the track. Gonna hop back on. Still in the race lead, but probably got a cut or two from that. Tharp is definitely trying to make this pass stick on Giffen. I don't think he wants to rush anything, but he's also getting a little bit fed up with having to follow in this situation. So I think he's going to try to make something happen. It could happen right here in this rhythm section. Let's see if he gets close enough. Almost looked like he tried to go over the table right there. Oh, he's going to go for the quad. Inside contact, Giffen down. Oh, and he takes Gatlin to the ground with him. Shirley goes by. And Nygren too. Yes, the two Boots House Yamaha riders have gone by. Gatlin remounts in 4th. You got Cade Matherly back here in 5th. Giffen, Parker, Crotty, McIntosh, Wofford, and then Alec Horn, and then Jet Holyhead. Dylan Love, Stevenson, Vanderbeek, Pinkerton, Paolini, Rockefeller, Hansen. Oh, Carson West, winner of our main event back in, I believe it was Detroit. Rough look for him. So Seth Shirley now is leading this race. Cade Matherly is up to 2nd. What did we miss? So Shirley's leading from Matherly. Crotty is up into 3rd, and Buddy Parker is in 4th. Did everybody that was out front just go down? Gatlin's gone back. Tharp has gone backwards. Nygren has gone backwards. Of course, we saw Jeff Giffen go down, but things have shuffled around in a hurry. Door of opportunity is thrust wide open for a lot of guys. Crotty just made a big mistake. Parker off the side of the track. Here comes McIntosh through into 4th. Or is it 3rd now? No, it is still 4th. Shirley is leading. Matherly 2nd. Crotty 3rd. And McIntosh 4th. Shout out Pooh Cats for the $279 Canadian dollars. Says LII OK be the streams. So Lie OK be the streams. Not sure what that means, but shout out to Pooh Cats for the $279 donation. Appreciate it so much, good sir. Out for the final transfer spot, though. Buddy Parker went for the quad send. Almost laid it down, but kept it just upright enough. Jumping into the sand. Riding that rear tire through that sand section as well. Different option line there for Buddy Parker, but maybe just playing it safe right there, knowing he can get a drive into the whoops there with that double out. But McIntosh did get a little bit of a lap. Oh, Phuket meant I love the streams. And he put, lie okay, be the streams. So these guys are starting to separate just a little bit there from Buddy Parker. Matherly, Crotty, and McIntosh 2, 3, 4 in this LCQ. And they are going to have 2 to go because time will definitely expire. They've got 20 seconds left on the clock. And a lot of track still before they get back to the finish line. McIntosh makes that pass stick on Seth Crotty on the 71 machine and moves up into 3rd place. So Crotty slipping back a little bit. Triple on off, triple. Go for the quad. Crotty and McIntosh both go for it. But McIntosh had to come to a bit of a stop there because Cade Matherly didn't go for it. Nearly ran into the back of him going into the underside of the tunnel jump right there. Oh, McIntosh and Crotty both getting a little sideways right there. So Crotty is going to pass him back going through the whoops. Oh, and then short there. Also over the finish line jump. So McIntosh down the inside. Able to go back into that 4th position, or the 3rd position, I should say. 4th now is Seth Crotty. Oh, and McIntosh goes down. That will cost him a transfer spot. Buddy Parker goes by into the final transfer spot here on the final lap of the race. Braden Tharp trying to close this thing down right at the end. 3.4 seconds to go. But he's in 5th. He's got to get to 4th place. Poor old Rogan McIntosh tossing that away. Buddy Parker has done a great job to keep these guys right in his wheelhouse, though, and get the triple quad with relative ease. That's going to allow him to get a gap established on Tharp behind him. Might give him enough time to quite easily make it into the main event here, not have to think too much about it. This whoop section is going to be critical. Is anybody going to make a mistake? Open up the opportunity. Out front, Seth Shirley takes the win. Looks like all 3 riders are able to just get through the whoops well enough to make it. And down to the finish line jump they go. They are all going through. 38 of Mattingly, 71 of Crotty, and the 990 of Buddy Parker going to the East-West Showdown. Tharp, McIntosh, Stevenson, Vanderbeek, Holyhead, Paolini, Gatland, Love, Rockefeller, West, Nygren, Horn, Wofford, Giffen, Pinkerton, and Hansen, all going to be sitting on the sidelines for that East-West Showdown later on tonight. All right, cuts are in, and looks like Crotty jumped back to 4th, but did hold on to a transfer spot there. Buddy Parker ends up 3rd. Crotty, Matherly, and Shirley going through as well. All right, 450 LCQ time. And we're going to see Payson Johnson in this one. If you guys remember, Johnson did not have a very good heat race right there at the end. Had a few crashes that really cost him. Ended up coming across the line in 10th. So he is really going to have to do some work here. Try to make something happen. We'll see if he can get it done, or will he be headed home early tonight as well. Taking a little while to load in here. Yeah, I mean, it's a fair question. Why did they switch it to shootout, or why did they switch it to showdown instead of shootout? I think, I don't know this for a fact, but I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that for the longest time, it was the Las Vegas East-West shootout. And so after the unfortunate incident in Las Vegas in 2017, anytime you search Las Vegas shootout, you were no longer going to see a Supercross race. It's just the way it is. So I think in part they wanted to, you know, like be mindful of that thought process a little bit, but also, you know, just rename it to something that would never be associated with that. So they went with Showdown. Again, I don't know that for fact, but that is also the exact same time it changed. They did the East-West shootout in 17, and then the thing in Vegas happened, and then since then they've been called Showdowns. So pretty sure that's what the catalyst was. All right, folks, 450 last chance qualifier time. Not too many guys on the gate, but we'll see who's going to make it through. 4 riders to the main right now. Oh, man, got a little close and dicing that first corner between Alex Kerr and Payson Johnson nearly coming together. Uh-oh, Johnson's going to go down somehow. Heckman, who hit him going up in the air, landed it, but then he also got hit on landing, and they both went down. So Ethan Parks goes to the race lead. Jaden Wilson in second. Alex Kerr third, and Caden Speck in fourth. Like Johnson already picking the pieces back up and sliding and dicing his way through these guys a little bit. I think that is already a transfer spot for him, as Austin Bear is going to go down at the end of the whoops and take somebody with him. Yeah, Johnson up into third, but he hit someone in the rear tire over that tunnel jump. I don't know how he didn't go down, but I think he just took over second place as well. So Johnson clearly not playing any games right here. Got Caden Speck right behind him. They look almost like they could be teammates, but Johnson's in some Panini Motorsports garb, as Caden Speck is in EVP stuff. But very similar gear, like head-to-toe look in a sense. Bike's a little bit different, obvious. Whoa, Jaden Wilson running stock Cowie right here, but the NPC Motorsports number 25 machine goes down. 3 riders slide through. So it's now Johnson, Speck, Kerr out front. Parks has moved back into the final transfer spot. Oh, but he went a little bit long right there on that triple on. And Devin Davis is closed up. Under the tunnel they go. Johnson was down again. So Payson Johnson, he's got some work to do now. Falls back to 8th spot. Wow, this is kind of gnarly. So our new leader, Caden Speck from Alex Kerr. Ethan Parks just got lit up by Devin Davis and went down, so Jane Wilson moves to 4th. Tyler Shields up into 5th. Post in 6th. Johnson in 7th. Bear 8th, and then Parks getting up from his crash now in 9th. So we'll stick on board with Johnson here for a minute, because everybody is pretty much gaggled up together in front of him. That, is Caden Speck going down there. So Johnson back into 6th. .141.5 last time by, but Johnson, of course, did go down, so that is not a reflective lap time of what he's capable of here. Have to imagine he's going to try to make some passes and get back into the mix here if possible. Rider down. Jaden Wilson again. Tough luck for Jaden Wilson on the 25 machine. Hasn't caught a break in this LCQ yet. Now Johnson's got one more guy to get by. Oh, but he's going to get into him and go down. That was Chris Post. Devin Davis is also down. Or did I miss something? Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was on board with Davis. Johnson was the one that skirted around these guys, and he is going to move around into second place by the looks of it. Alex Kerr off the side of the track right here. Johnson and Shields then. Second and third, as Johnson kind of hopping through the whoops a little bit right there. And now Jaden Wilson back into 4th place. So then Speck and Bear, who are both down in the whoops, and then Ethan Parks with teammate Alex Heckman right behind him. So it's a gaggle of teammates, then Caden Speck trying to catch Jaden Wilson for that 4th and final transfer spot. Closest battle may be Shields and Johnson, but Johnson's starting to get away a little bit, and really going to be interesting to see whether or not Johnson pushes the envelope to try to catch race leader Alex Kerr. That gap is certainly coming down in a hurry. He just ran at 130.1 last time by. And white flag will be out next time by. Uh-oh, leader's down. Leader has gone down. That is Alex Kerr hitting the deck and picking it up now in third place, just in time before Jaden Wilson came into the picture. So now just 5 seconds separate our top four. Another 4 seconds back to Caden Speck behind them. Davis, Blakely, Bear, Parks also still kind of within a shot if things get crazy ahead of this group here. Caden Speck is trying to close this gap down on our leaders. Riders side by side in the whoops up ahead. Battling it out. It's Jaden Wilson and Alex Kerr over the triple jump. And Wilson's going to take the spot away from Kerr, but Kerr looked like he was happy to let him go. Retaining fourth for the time being, but final lap of the race, anything could happen. And the last thing you want to have happen here if you're one of these three riders is a fall-off crash, because you will most certainly fall out of a transfer spot at that point. So the pressure is on for all three riders right here. They all kind of got a little sideways through there. Shields from Wilson and Kerr. Johnson out to nearly a 5-second lead on this battle for second place. And Speck still lurking there about 4 seconds behind this group, just hoping somebody goes down again. Dane Wilson in and out of the inside tough blocks right there. Won't be too much of cuts, but probably a few tenths here and there. Oh, Wilson almost through the front door. And then casing that triple very badly. Doesn't cause him to go down, so good to go so far. But Kerr able to get back into third place with Shields just ahead of him in second. Got to hold it on. One more straightaway to go. Triple in. Shields will go for the quad. Does anybody go down to the whoops? Good for Shields, good for Kerr, and good for Wilson as Johnson takes the win out front. He's going to the main event. Tyler Shields will indeed finish up this one in second place. Kerr in third, and Wilson coming home in fourth. Caden Speck, Devin Davis, Chase Blakely, Ethan Parks, Dakota French, Alex Heckman, Austin Bear, Peter Light, Chris Post, Trent Adams, Dylan Cavacuti, all missing out and are going home tonight. Our main events will be set as soon as cuts come in and Payson Johnson stops riding backwards on the track after the race has completed. All right, here we go. Cuts finally coming through. There we go. And our top four stay the exact same, so no change there. Wilson did have a little bit of cuts. Yeah, 2.4 seconds of cuts. It got pretty close, actually. Down to 1 second from... It was out almost over to 3 on Caden Speck, so it was pretty close in the end. But Johnson wins the LCQ and goes to the main event. All right. So all the qualifying races are done here tonight in Atlanta. Just one thing left to do, and that's drop the gate on the main events. It's time for that East-West Showdown. Who's excited for that? Yeah, this is going to be fun. Who will come out on top for ultimate supremacy between the two coasts? Been fun to see how the championship leaders have handled it so far tonight between Tomic and Cochran. Playing it a little bit safer in their heat races, not necessarily pushing the envelope to any sort of level. Just making sure they actually do make the main events. That has been critical here tonight. And so far, so good. So step 1 is done. Step 2, maximize in the East-West Showdown. The real question that all of us fans want to know is who is going to actually win this East-West Showdown? Will it be an East rider or will it be a West rider? Well, this is what we have been waiting for all season long right here, is this East-West Showdown. And it's finally here. We'll give you guys a rundown of the order here in just a moment once we load into the server and get us going for this East-West Showdown here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. The fun has only just begun here tonight. 2 great main events on the docket, ready to bring you guys the action. And we are going to be moments away from gate drop here in Atlanta. All right, so far in chat, we got Keegan thinks it's going to be a West rider. Long Live Quad says, gotta go West. Damian Lawyer says, a West rider. So we got 2.5 for West and a half point for East so far, because West is both. Gosh, I don't know. I don't know who to pick for this 250 class. It could be anybody. We've seen so many talented riders win main events in both the West and East divisions this year. So here's your rundown. Ethan Gerst, Tyron Tomic, Luke Fauser, Matt Cromie, Luke Magnetti, Bryce Whelan, Johan Bordeaux, Frank Jackson, Cade Matherly, Seth Shirley, Johnny Padani, John Heilman, Trevor Spencer, Seth Carr, Brett Powers, Seth Crotty, Buddy Parker, Holden Cody, Tanner Thorson, Casey Cochran, and Rasmus Balzer. Shout out Devin Davis for the $5 donation. Says, Jaden cut the track when I was in second and punted me, but you missed it on the stream, and I'm sure chat will say nobody cares, but this needs to stop. So Devin Davis, unfortunate turn of events there in his last chance qualifier, but I do thank you so much for the donation. I did not see that happen, so apologies for not catching it, but yeah, tough luck the last couple weeks there for Devin in those LCQs. But it all comes down to this moment right here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Get our 250 timer up so you guys can see how much time is in this main event. Here we go, folks. The first of 2 East-West Showdowns ready to go racing. Let's drop the gate in Atlanta. It's the 20 of Casey Cochran who gets the line out of the inside, but it's a land rush into that first corner. Several riders down on the outside. It's going to be Bryce Whelan, RaceFactoryGaming.com, Whole Shot Awards. Shirley right behind him, Bordeaux. Cochran's up there. Coming on the track is Gerst, I believe. But it's Whelan leading, and that is huge. Where is Tyron Tomic? Remember, he and Tomic separated by 19 points entering tonight. It's also close in that West Championship, just 7 back to Magnetti, but Cochran's got a great start. So where is Tomic? Whelan leads. Tomic down in 11th through timing and scoring loops first time through. Bordeaux, the Frenchman, on the 40. We got an East rider leading and a West rider in second place. And this is exactly what we wanted to see, a battle at the front. Oh, Luke Magnetti down in 15th spot entering tonight. 7 points behind Casey Cochran. Whelan leads at the end of lap 1. Bordeaux settling right back there into second place. Seth Shirley in 3rd. Cochran with a good start in 4th. Gerst inside the top 5. Padani 6th. Jackson 7th. Thorson 8th. Jackson jumping to the inside there of Padani. Almost made that pass. Then Sullivan ends up in 9th with Buddy Parker rounding out the top 10 early on. It's a good host of riders at the front of this field. Strap in, folks. 250 East-West Showdown in Atlanta. So Cochran's in a prime position. How much is he willing to risk in this main event? Will he try to push and try to take over the race lead? Still has yet to win a full main event. He won the Triple Crown at Glendale, his second career win of 250 MotoOption Supercross racing. For him, Whelan cases the triple and Bordeaux goes to the lead. That is not what Whelan was hoping for. He wanted to get the lead and take off and let the things happen behind him as they may. Gonna get the quad this time by. Might have a shot to go back to the lead on Bordeaux. Oh, got a kick in the whoops, but a nice save, and he does. Wheeling back to the front. Tomic, 17th place. These 250 championships might see a huge tide shift in both of them here tonight. But Whelan leading early on in this 250 East-West Showdown, doing everything he can to close back up on Tomic in this East Championship. Bordeaux is giving him fits from second, though. And remember, Bordeaux, he is still kind of in this 250 West Championship picture, so he would like a win tonight with some guys between himself and Casey Cochran if he can. What a great race we have early on, though. 3 minutes down, 12 to go in this 15-minute plus 1 lap main event at Atlanta. Want to give a quick shout out to Neil Wells with a $10 donation. Thank you so much, Neil, for that. Says, loving the content lately, especially the MTX Moto Track series. Appreciate all you do and have done for the moto gaming community. Wishing you continued success with Racer X. Cheers. Well, cheers to you, good sir. $10. I very much appreciate that. I think to stifle my back pain, I might go have a beverage after this race is over. And I will certainly cheers back in your direction for that $10 donation. So thanks so much, Neil. And great to see you back out here hanging out with us for MotoOption Supercross as well. I know you've taken a little bit of a hiatus from not just racing, but also hanging out in the community a little bit. So good to see you back. Hopefully we'll see you back around here often if you get the chance. But I know that you're also dealing with a young child just like me. So I know the struggles in the process there. All right. 3 laps have come and gone. Whelan continues to lead the race. 11 minutes left on the clock. And starting to open up a bit of a gap on Bordeaux. It is Seth Shirley in 3rd place. Cochran starting to knock on the door of opportunity here to try to get into a podium position. And this has been Cochran's MO this year in this 250 West title fight. He's going to get through and into 3rd as well. It has been podium after podium for the 20. It hasn't been flashy speed, hasn't been wild and crazy and anything like that. It's been steady, constant results as down goes Bordeaux. Bordeaux hitting the deck, and that is going to put Cochran into 2nd place. So Whelan leading the way, Cochran in 2nd. We might have to go back and take a look at what is going on with Tomic and if he's making any inroads in going forward, because that 250 East title fight is going to be so interesting if Whelan wins this main event, with several riders between he and Tomic. As for Cochran, closest competitor to him, of course, Luke Magnetti, only 7 points down, getting passed by Johnny Padani right now. Yeah, so that is Magnetti slipping back to 7th, I believe. Gonna go up to 6th, though, as Gerst, I believe, was just down right there and actually into the top 5. So Magnetti is certainly trying to charge forward here. Padani trying to fight back to the inside, but Magnetti did get the quad into the whoops, as did Gerst, who's trying to pull up alongside of him. Gerst going to case the double and get landed on. Padani goes down. Sullivan slides by. Crotty off the inside of the track there with Matherly. So they go over the tunnel jump. They're inside the top 10. Holden Cody on the 381 machine, and then Tomic coming through now in 11th. So Tomic doing what he can to limit the damage here. Still has 9 minutes to work with. And fortunately for him, everybody's still pretty close. Could be looked at as a bad thing. If he goes down, everybody would go right back by him. He still has about 6 riders maybe that could get him if he crashes again. So he'd go back to 17th. But if he's able to make some good passes, he's got a lot of close guys right in front of him. could easily get himself back into a top 5 contending position here before this thing is done. Shout out to MX for Life 894 as well, another $10 donation. Late to the feed, but still made it. Awesome broadcast as always, Kellen. Hope to see the number 23 at least on the box by the end. So he is shouting out his man Seth Shirley, the Boots House Yamaha machine, running up front early on. So we'll see if Shirley can hold on to that position. So far, so good for him. Ryder going down in front of Tomic. That is going to be Seth Crotty. So Tomic up inside of the top 10 now. Again, damage limitation. Holden Cody, next in line in front of Tomic. Ooh, Tomic jumping off the side of the track right here. Nice job to not overdo it, though. Just going to double back onto the track. And will remain 10th after we've watched him for about a full lap here. There's Sullivan just up the road. Bordeaux now behind Cochran. Magnetti's gotten around Cochran. Wow. Something happened, I guess, to Cochran because Magnetti has not only closed the gap down to him from 5th, but has actually passed him. And that is going to swing some points the way of Magnetti in this title fight. 7 points down of Cochran entering tonight. And after this one, these guys will simply just have Denver and then the Salt Lake City East-West Showdown to contend with. So this is really turning into quite the title fight between teammates. Of course, we have to figure out where Balzer is in all of this. He was 9 points down of these two coming into tonight's action. We'll see. I haven't not seen the Ruma Suzuki in the background of any of these shots just yet, so it's not looking like the best of nights here for the Great Dane. Ooh, Bordeaux closed up and then went down. So Bordeaux got close to making a pass. Sullivan goes by, as does Gerst. Oh, and then Holden Cody, I think, just hit the tunnel and went down. So Matherly and Tomic will split him, go through as well. Did not see Balzer on the top of the timing sheet, so he must be a little bit closer to these guys than I expected. Yeah, there he is. Okay, so Balzer in 12th. Going to be very interesting to figure out all the math after this is all said and done. But it is still Whelan leading as we have crested the halfway point of this main event. 9 minutes have come and gone. 6 minutes remain. Plus that single lap at the end. And Bryce Whelan is all but in cruise control at this point. Seth Shirley is still close enough, though, to think about it. 7.3 seconds down. Fall-off crash for Whelan in the race lead. And Shirley would take it over at the front, which I'm sure would certainly pump up MX for Life 894, who is rooting on his buddy here tonight. See if Shirley can maybe make something happen, or will Whelan toss it away? Magnetti still has Cochran behind him and has actually opened up a little bit of a gap on the 20 now. This is a 2-point swing right here. For those of you that are trying to figure out the championship scenario, Magnetti would close from 7 to 5 behind Cochran, but Cochran would maintain the championship lead. Cochran under the tunnel jump. Luke Sullivan still right behind him. Then you got Gerst. Bordeaux casing. Oh, here comes Tomic. Whew, a little close there for the Australian. But Tomic and Bordeaux nearly coming together right there. Bordeaux going to get back by. Tomic is now into 8th spot. So at this point, he will retain the championship lead. There's no question about that. It's more or less about limiting the damage that Bryce Whelan will do to him if he were to go on and win this main event. Interestingly enough, though, I mean, it's not that far of a gap up to Whelan as the race leader. It's maybe, do some math here in a minute, but 25, 30 seconds, which sounds like a lot, of course, but on this long of a racetrack, it's not actually that bad given where Tomic was early in this race. And he is battling with Bordeaux, who goes down after the finish line jump. Up to 7th now for the Connect Visual KTM rider. Matherly into 8th. Crotty going to get into 9th as Bordeaux settles into 10th. Cromie and then Balzer over the line behind these guys. So Balzer trying to close up to Matt Cromie. He's got Holden Cody right behind him. Oh, Matherly down. Bordeaux's going to go through. And perhaps Matt Cromie as well. No, it looks like Matherly's just going to hang on to the position, but Cromie will suddenly be right behind him. might think about a pass, actually. Look at this. Outside for Chromie. And then Matherly shuts it down up the inside. So Balzer's trying to navigate all this and get into the top 10. Because he would also like to keep it close in that 250 West title fight. At the very least, give himself an opportunity to make amends in Denver. And look at this. These guys kind of playing a bit of a slow race. Balzer's going to pull up alongside. But Matherly able to quad out, so Balzer settles just for the 1 position now, up into 11th. Gap coming down to our leaders as our 2 championship combatants now find each other in the whoop section. Cochran has slipped back to 6th. Tomic now trying to get into 6th spot around him. And the red plates are battling each other on the racetrack. Again, I don't think they care all that much about each other. They're just trying to get 1 position higher, get a couple more points in their favor. Cochran has kind of started to fall apart a little bit right here. And if Magnetti continues to march forward, Cochran would be in danger of losing the championship lead as Tomic now tucks a front end. Will maybe just lose 1 position to Crotty as Crotty comes through and triples in. Now Tomic is actually going to hold him on because Crotty didn't quite get the triple in cleanly. So Tomic remains 7th, but a weird crash there for the Australian. Cochran now trying to set his sights on Gerst to get back into the top 5. Luke Sullivan quietly putting a very great main event together here. Now trying to work on Magnetti. Might have a shot at him on the inside under the tunnel. Will get through. Nicely done, Luke Sullivan. Doesn't care 1 iota about this championship fight. He's doing his best. Get some good results out here. But Magnetti fights back to get back into 3rd place. It is still Seth Shirley in 2nd with Whelan, your race leader, out front. He just checked in out front once again onto the 9th lap of the race. We have just under 2 minutes left to go. It is going to be very close next time by, depending on what Whelan does out front for timing and scoring purposes. But I think he should get another lap in. So we're looking at probably an 11-lap main event, or 12-lap, excuse me. They just got on to lap 10. Actually, Whelan's lead is not that big on any of these guys. Shirley been keeping it close. 4.6 now, 132.7 to a 133.1 last time by. Seth Shirley might be trying to win his first career main event in arguably the hardest circumstance to do it. Not only is it the East-West Showdown, but it's the toughest course we're going to face all year on this long Atlanta Motor Speedway racetrack. And Seth Shirley is sick of waiting for his first career win. He has decided he is going after our race leader, Bryce Whelan. And Whelan is making the mistakes to allow Shirley back into the picture a little bit here. Oh, shout out Alex Rivera, $5 donation. He says, at Kellen Brower, you demand. LOL, mad respect to being a super dad and work and doing the stream, which is so epic. You're awesome, dude. Thanks, man. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate that as always. Like I said, the donations are not needed. Like I have a lot of enjoyment doing these streams. They're always welcomed, of course, because I really appreciate the extra support that you guys have to offer. But I'm just happy to put on these broadcasts for you guys, and hopefully every week when you guys show up, you actually do enjoy the show. That's really what I want out of this. You guys to, tune in and actually have a good time watching some virtual dirt bike racing. So thanks so much for the support as always. And yeah, East-West Showdown going up, but Shirley tucks the front end and goes down. Oh no, and now Magnetti, he almost goes down coming into the corner. Will take over 2nd place. Shirley's going to pick it up right behind him though. For those of you keeping track at home right now, it is East, West, West. In our top 3, Shirley and Magnetti, both West riders. Shirley not really much of a factor in the championship picture at this point in the season, but Magnetti, of course, is trying to claw as many points possible back in his direction, away from Casey Cochran, who now finds his way into 5th place. And Tyron Tomic, after that crash, has slipped back to 9th behind Johan Bordeaux. Ooh, Seth Shirley with the quad. Going to close up on Magnetti again. I think Magnetti content not going for the quad. Bryce Whelan out front, though. Time has expired, by the way. So the white flag is about to come out for Bryce Whelan in what will be arguably the biggest win of his career. 250 East-West Showdown. Shirley trying so hard to get back to Magnetti. There it is, white flag out. We haven't talked about him much at all in this race, but Bryce Whelan, what a time to catch fire late in this championship. It looked like this was Tomic's championship to lose, and it really actually kind of has been. Couple bad weeks these last two races. Bryce Whelan has taken full advantage, wins last week in St. Louis, now might be winning the Showdown. In his way of saying that the East Series is the Supreme Series. Oh man, look at Shirley. He is not done with Magnetti, trying to get this second place back away. Little dually scrubs into the corner. Shirley almost thought of an inside pass. Didn't quite go for the angle there. But he wants the second place badly. Cochran up to fourth. Looks like at this point, Shirley's guaranteed a podium. It's 14 seconds back to Cochran there. But, oh man, he wants second place so badly here. Pulls up alongside Magnetti. Does he go for the quad? Yes, he does. Magnetti shoots off the side of the track, and Seth Shirley takes over second place. Great job by the 23 to get that spot back. Bryce Whelan taking it easy out front. 2-3-2. Got to get through the whoops clean one more time. And he's got it. Up and over that big double jump. Up and over the big tunnel jump. What a way to do it. How about it, folks? Your 250 East-West Showdown winner, Bryce Whelan. Oh, the battle for second still on. Magnetti's down. He's down with Shirley. They're in a bad spot right there, but I don't think anybody's going to catch them. Shirley trying to get up first, get to the line first, and he will get second place in the end by 3/10. He lost a lot of ground, though, but it doesn't matter. Sullivan ends up fourth. Cochran gets fifth. We'll have to calculate the scores here in just a moment. Crotty looks like he's going to get sixth. Bordeaux seventh. Tomic was down in the whoops. Padani's going to go by. Seth Carr is going by as well, I believe that is. But Seth Carr looks to be a lap down, so it's Padani that will end up in eighth in this one. Tomic will end up in ninth, and we have some math to figure out, ladies and gentlemen. Whew. Rounding out our top 10 will be Ethan Gerst. Doing some math real quick. Guess we'll have to wait for cuts to be official, but it looks pretty official to me. We'll see, though. Whelan picking up 26 points. Tomic only 14. Remember, it was a 19-point gap, so 12 points gained. It is now just a 7-point advantage for Tyron Tomic in this 250 East Championship. Crazy. Magnetti looks like he'll end up in third. Yeah, cuts have made that official, so third for Magnetti. And then fifth for Cochran. That is a 3-point swing from 7 to 4. A 4-point lead for Cochran, a 7-point lead for Tomic. Rasmus Balzer ends up 16th in this one, which is going to be a real tough hole to dig out for him. So it looks like we have 2 breakaway championship fights in this one. It is now Tomic by 7 points over Bryce Whelan in the 250 East standings, and Cochran by 4 points over Luke Magnetti in the 250 West standings. But your big winner tonight, Bryce Whelan. Fantastic work by the 45 Phil Ski and Snowboard Honda rider. That is exactly what he was hoping for tonight. And this 250 East Championship, as we head to Foxborough next week, boy, oh boy, is it suddenly very interesting at the top. Okay, folks, still one more race left to get done here tonight. And that, of course, is our 450 main event coming up in just a moment. They got to run the manual scripts. So those are now done and ready to go. One more race on the docket. Who's going to win this 450 main event? 18 points between Braden Carter and Alexis Leclerc. Leclerc needs a win here big time. We'll see whether or not he can get it done, or will somebody else show up and get it done here tonight in Atlanta. All right, I was just taking a break there for a minute, kind of catching my breath. As I mentioned earlier, kind of threw my back out a little bit, so can't really get a full deep breath in. So running out of steam a little bit towards the end of that main event, but we're back. We're ready to go. And it looks like we got a couple votes in the chat for Braden Carter. Pearl Towels, or Pertals, says, if Carter doesn't get screwed by lappers, I think he will win. Alligator says, Leclerc, come on. Jonas Comfort wants Payson to win, just needs to not crash. We got fans all over the board here for this 450 main event. Should be a very fun one indeed. Heyo, Alex Rivera, another $2 donation, says, to everyone, have a happy Easter. Of course, everybody, Easter this weekend. Hopefully you guys have a fantastic time. We're going to have a bunch of family over at my place, so stoked for that. Happy Easter to every single one of you guys out there, even if you are not of that religion. Braden Carter, Chase Donovan, Nick Selland, Jaden Wilson, Trevor Burns, Nick Tomasunis, Nick Selland, Jay Turner, Logan Leitzel, Jeremy Siebold, Alexis Leclerc, Jacob Hubbard, Colby Eaglin, Jack Haley, Braden Castellaneta, Bob Joe, Alex Kerr, Daniel Mills, Tyler Lang, Payson Johnson, Caleb Hall, and Tanner Rogers make up our 22-rider, 20-minute plus 1 lap 450 main event here tonight at Atlanta. All right, folks, it is go time. Who is going to come out on top of this one? Round 14 of MotoOption Supercross. Ready to go. Carter and Leclerc will line up next to each other down the inside. I think that's where I'm going to stick to watch it. Carter versus Leclerc on the inside. Who gets the jump? It's 450 main event from Atlanta. Well, Leclerc gets to the corner first, but he got bumped wide. Carter's going to slide down the inside, and they're going to come out side by side. Leclerc officially picks up the RaceDirectorGaming.com Whole Shot Award, but they end up side by side through the first rhythm section. Carter's down! Carter down off the side of the track, and several riders going down as well. This could be massive for Leclerc, but he's down as well. What happened to Leclerc? He's down under the tunnel. Oh, several riders. Eaglin's down. Carter's getting picked up. Everybody trying to funnel through early. More riders down. Off the triple jump. Carter's off the side of the track. What on earth is happening? Bob Joe leads the race in Atlanta. I didn't see what happened to Leclerc, but as they went under the tunnel, things really kicked off, and everybody had a mistake. Bob Joe leads lap number 1. Caleb Hall second. Shields third. Siebold fourth, and Castellaneta inside the top 5. Johnson in 6th. Also going to shoot up to 5th as Bob Joe's starting to come under attack a little bit. He will retain the lead, but momentarily, Caleb Hall had it. Now Tyler Shields, I think that is, trying to get into the race lead as well. Bob Joe Oh, he goes down. Caves the triple and a legs off immediately. So Shields to the front. Hall now settles into second. Seabolt hopping through the whoops in third. Cuts a ton of the racetrack, but comes through in second. He will certainly get a lot of penalties because of that. So if he's going to win this race, he'll need to win by a lot. Might be going to the lead right here. Around the outside over Shields, and it's done. Seabolt, your 2020 Supercross champion, into the race lead. 86 of Shields up alongside, trying to make the pass happen again, but he goes into the tough blocks. Castellaneta and Caleb Hall, teammates, third and fourth. Then Hubbard. Rounding out the top five, Leclerc right behind Nick Sellen, who's up into sixth. Still a pretty good spot for Leclerc. Could have been a lot better for sure as Carter runs 11th. Leclerc hopping through the whoops. That's Shields going down. I think it was, and Hall went down as well. It's actually Hubbard that went down. Somehow Carter just missed all that chaos and more riders going down off the back as Carter and Eagland side by side over the jump. Johnson slipped back. Leclerc's made a lot of passes to get in front of Castellaneta behind Sellen still, though. Good gravy. There's been a lot of action and only 2 laps done in this main event. We still have so much left to go. But it's Seabolt leading from Shields, Sellen, Leclerc, and Wilson inside the top 5 with, I believe, Carter now moving into 9th. Lang in good positioning as well in 7th as Johnson tries to recover from that crash. Not sure what happened to the 51, but everybody's still really close. Top 10 essentially, separated by just 10 seconds still. Uh-oh, Jaden Wilson going down. Kind of pirouetting off of the face of that jump and losing several positions as everybody was still close. Lang was trying to make a pass on Castellaneta, his teammate, but didn't quite make it stick. So Leclerc now settles in behind Nick Sellen. Shields still in second. Seabolt leading the way here in Atlanta. So Seabolt, who's been splitting his time a lot of this year, jumping back and forth between Sim and MX Bikes, did a lot of Sim racing and MX Simulator at the beginning of the year, then jumped over to MX Bikes, has been competing in that series, if I have all my facts correct here. But now it looks like he is back on scene in Sim as battle for second brewing. Shields versus Sellen. And it's going to go to Sellen. Shields back to third. Lang up to fourth. Johnson now fifth. Leclerc sixth. Carter seventh. So things were going to be so well for Leclerc. And we're not even a quarter of the way into this main event. And we are back to nearly square one with our 2 title combatants. Now Carter, he's doing the chasing on Leclerc. Into the whoops they go. Big kick up ahead of him. That is Johnson that just got sideways, and Johnson's going to lose a spot to Leclerc and Carter by the looks of it. So Johnson's still not quite able to figure it all out just yet. Look at how well Carter just carried speed into this section. Almost enough to get the quad triple, but Leclerc made a mistake, and Carter is going to go by him. Johnson down in the background. Leclerc gets a little feisty with Carter and puts him on the ground. It doesn't make a difference. Carter gets up still in the same position he was, which is 6th place, just ahead of Jaden Wilson, but clearly, Leclerc, the gloves are off. I mean, perhaps he didn't see Carter, but they were side by side, and that looked pretty... point to the, side of the track and go for it kind of situation right there. But we'll see what happens. Shields under attack here from T-Lang. Talked about it earlier in the broadcast tonight. Lang, terrific at Daytona earlier this year. First career MotoOption Supercross main event victory for the 2021 Outdoor Champion. Followed it up with a win 2 weeks later in Indianapolis. But then missed the main event at the Detroit makeup race, I believe it was. So really, if you go by rounds 9, 10, and 11, T-Lang went win, DNQ win. I believe that's how it shook up. But yeah, clearly the outdoor prowess shining through for your reigning national champion, and he is trying to make this pass work on Shields, who is just going back and forth, and finally, Lang gets it to stick. Lang moves his way into third place. Sellen up in second with Jeremy Seabolt still leading the way. Our front three now barely equidistant, with Leclerc right behind in fourth. And Carter trying to close that gap up to Leclerc. 5.4 seconds is the gap. So at the moment, only 2 points gained back in the favor of Leclerc in this championship, down from 18 to 16 as they run. But of course, Leclerc is going to hope he can get a little bit more back in his favor. We have got riders down. It was T. Lang. Oh, Lang down. Off the side of the track after the whoop section. He'll go back to fifth. So just as quickly as the 5 machine had found his way into third place, goes down and slips back to fifth behind Braden Carter. Carter working on closing that gap down to Leclerc, down to 3.2, 28.2 to a 29.8 last time by. Leclerc making some mistakes. And Carter goes down. Just as we started talking about the prospect of them getting back together a little bit there. Oh, Carter gets T-boned then by Leitzel, who comes soaring in through the tough blocks. And now Carter's in a bad position here. He has got a lot of work to get back to where he was. Back-to-back fall-off crashes. You lose a lot of time in a hurry. And he lost a lot of positions as well, down to 11th. So this is not where Carter wants to be at all. He wants to try to make these positions back. Got teammate Jacob Hubbard just in front of him. Then Leitzel, who ran into him while they were stopped right there. Gosh, Carter's just carrying so much speed into that section. He can't even really time it anymore. It's just kind of sending and hope I land in a decent position. Oh, short on the triple right there. Back to 11th. Rough deal there for Carter. Oh, Leitzel, I thought he was going through the front door as he passes his way into 8th spot. Wilson, Eagland, Castellaneta all close together here behind Lang in 4th. And the top 3 have absolutely dropped the rest of the field at this point. Leclerc, Sellen, and Seabolt. Sellen trying to get that win that eluded him last week. Working on closing down on race leader Jeremy Seabolt. Seabolt looking very solid out front. Lap time check for him, 28.6. So he just set his best lap of the race last time by. Have to imagine he's been hovering right around that spot most of this race, because he has not really lost any time to Sellen. And then, of course, Leclerc starting to work on closing up on the German riders. So we've got an American, a German, and a Frenchman. 1, 2, 3 in this main event. Lang in 4th, Castellaneta 5th. And Eagland right behind there, trying to make a pass into the top 5 will do so, but Jaden Wilson might take it away from him. Almost getting there, but Eagland shuts the door. So Eagland, Wilson, Castellaneta still close. Then Leitzel, Hubbard, Shields, and now Carter behind Shields as well. I think the teammates are going to start playing the team game a little bit here, as Carter in 10th spot has a lot of time to gain to even try to think about making back some points towards his tally. 10th place, of course, going to garner him 13 points if he were to stay where he is, whereas Leclerc in 3rd going to garner 21 points. That would, as we run, be an 8-point shift in the championship in the favor of Leclerc, going down from 18 to 10 with 3 rounds remaining. Uh-oh, Seabolt down with the lead. Next Sellen to the front. Not sure what happened, but it looked like it changed hands rather quickly, and Seabolt went down after the whoops. Wonder if he was helped there by Sellen as well, because the gap is pretty even. Oh, Sellen can't do the triple. Leclerc off the side of the track will get it done. And now Leclerc is moving into a position where he could win this race and really maximize the damage he lays into the side of Braden Carter. Through the whoops, scrubbing over that double jump. Nick Sellen, the second week in a row, is in a position to win his first career MotoOption Supercross main event. But he has a lot of time left on the clock to try to make that happen. Just over 8 minutes, and then that one lap at the end of the race added on. We'll probably end up going about 16 laps, maybe 17. My math checks out. Leclerc is just trying to stay close to Sellen in case something happens. He could pounce on the opportunity, take advantage of a mistake, but it's really kind of stayed the same. 2-second gap. I mean, the 31.3 last time by Sellen was not good. Leclerc gained a lot of time through that last lap alone, but other than that, Sellen has kind of matched pace with the race leaders, so it stayed right where it's been hovering about like between 3 and 4 seconds. Now it's down to 1.5 though, and we are suddenly looking at things tightening up for the race lead. Uh-oh, Leclerc. Oh, nice save. Started kicking sideways almost immediately in the whoops and pulled it back together nicely. Now down to just 1 second. They go back across the start straight. 29.7. 29.7. Wow, they actually matched lap times, so didn't realize it was that close when they crossed the finish line last time through, and then something happened that opened that gap up, but we certainly have a battle for the lead on our hands here, folks. With 6.5 minutes and a lap still to go, Leclerc is trying to pass Nick Sellen for the win here. Lap traffic just ahead. See how Sellen navigates them. Well, they move just aside right there. I believe is that Daniel Mills? Yeah, on the 15, getting out of the way very nicely there. As the 97 and the 7 battle it out for supremacy. Oh, Sellen scrubbing super hard over that double. Leclerc lands nose heavy. Thought he might be going through the front door. Oh, here we go. Here's the quad. To the outside. Across the start straight and into the lead goes Leclerc. Yes, he's got it. Pushes Sellen into the tough blocks, and then Leclerc nearly jumps off the track himself, but he takes the lead. Good straight-up racing right there. I don't know if Sellen's going to be accepting of the putting into the tough block situation right there, but that happens. And Leclerc did a nice job to block the line off. So Leclerc goes to the front. Sellen back to second. Seabolt in third. Eagland fourth. Leitzel in fifth. Hubbard sixth. Johnson seventh. He just went down though. So Lang's going to go up to seventh. Johnson remaining on the ground. Going through is Jaden Wilson. And Braden Carter is still down here in the 11th position. Trying to go into actually 9th now on Johnson as they enter the sand roller side by side. Johnson will just follow him in. So 9th spot for Carter while Leclerc leads. That is a 12-point swing in the championship as Johnson goes down heavily behind once again. So from 18 down to 6 as they run. This is a disaster of a main event for Braden Carter. And it yo-yoed big time, man. Early in this race, Leclerc was in a prime position. Carter reeled it back in. Things really kicked off for Carter. He and Leclerc came together, and then Carter followed it up with 2 back-to-back fall-off crashes. And now, suddenly, Leclerc is in a great position to gain some serious points back on Carter, who has now moved up to 8th, by the way, so now just down to an 11-point swing. While T. Lang and Hubbard bar to bar into the tunnel. Lang pushing, trying to make that pass for 6th, and he'll get it done. Hopping through the sand rollers there. And Lang, able to establish that position for himself. It is Leitzel right here in 5th, putting the pressure on Eagland in 4th. They have caught Jeremy Seabolt, so it is not going to be too long until we perhaps have a good battle brewing here for third place between Seabolt, Eagland, and Leitzel. Leclerc's lead, 6.7 on Nick Sellen. So Sellen really not having much that he can do about Leclerc right now other than hope for maybe a legs-off crash, which Leclerc is certainly possible of as he has to work through some lap traffic right here. We got 3 minutes left to go plus a lap, and Leclerc is just trying to navigate this lap traffic as smoothly as he can. 28 of Trevor Burns ripping the two-stroke behind him. He's in 16th. So next up for him should be Caleb Hall on the Underground RC Suzuki right there. So Leclerc into the whoop section, not the best drive that he's got all night long. So down to 5 seconds back to Sellen. Sellen looks like he got a great drive there, 4.7. Lap time check. That's where we really want to keep an eye on right here, though. 131.2 for Leclerc. And Sellen, 132.1 last time by. He goes 130.1. So gained back about a full second that last time by, but it's been yo-yoing, it seems, between these two. And right now, Leclerc is in the ideal position out front with 2 minutes and a lap left to go in this main event. Caleb Hall going down in the background of Leclerc. Like that battle for third is fully on at this point. Seabolt and Eagland ready to go toe-to-toe in a battle for the final podium spot between teammates. Carter, unless things really kick off in front of him, might only get 8th in this race. So he is fingers crossed that Nick Sellen goes and runs down Alexis Leclerc out front at this point. Oh, short there on the triple. So here comes Eagland, trying to pass his teammate for third, but not quite close enough just yet. Thought it might have been Sellen in front of him, but it guess would be Jay Wilson. Yeah, that they're passing. Sellen's still 5.4 down of Leclerc. And don't forget, Leitzel's right behind these guys. So he still has an opportunity to make some passing for the final podium spot as well, coming through the whoops there in the all-white off the double jump. We are down to our final 30 seconds of action here, though, before the white flag will be waving. And this time it looks like it actually will work out a little bit kind of better, where these guys are only going to have another, I don't know, 40 seconds additive time before the white flag waves. Eagland's certainly putting the pressure, though, on Seabolt for this third spot. And Leitzel's really just kind of crawled back into the frame here. He wasn't really that close to either of them. And then they started battling a little bit, going through some lap traffic, and Leitzel maybe just got it all a little bit better than they did, and suddenly he is within striking distance of Eagland for fourth. Seabolt, for the time being, holds on to third. Will anything change between this front group, though? Oh, Eagland down underneath the tunnel, and he momentarily took Leitzel with him. But that opens up that gap. Leclerc was down. Sellen takes the lead. And unlike last week when he went down coming to the white flag, he's taking the lead away from someone who did go down coming to the white flag. Nick Sellen, as the white flag waves, is 1 lap away from his first career MotoOption Supercross victory. Cases the finish line jump. Oh, the nerves will be kicked to 1,000 out of nowhere. Leclerc has to wick it back up again. Must have gone down in the triple in to that rhythm section. Weird spot to go down. But Nick Sellen takes the lead. Oh, man, after the heartbreak for Sellen last week, almost poetic justice in a way, the racing gods paying him back, at least for the time being, by giving him a race lead coming to the white flag instead of taking it away from him like it did a week ago. But Leclerc, I don't think he is done. He is going to push like crazy to try to get this lead back on the last lap of the race. Sellin clean through that section. Leclerc gets the quad though, and it's tightened up. Sellin goes down again on the last lap. Unfreaking believable Nick Sellin's luck while leading these races. Gives it back to Leclerc again. Now Leclerc navigating lap traffic. Just has to stay on two wheels in this final straightaway. Gets the quad. Payson Johnson in the whoops right in front of him. Leclerc gets through the clean. Johnson not letting Leclerc lap him right there. But coming to the flag, here we go. Alexis Leclerc gets it done tonight in Atlanta. Incredible change of events there towards the end. Nick Sellin, second week in a row, second place when he had ample opportunity to win the main event. Jeremy Seebolt rounds out the podium with Eagland in fourth and Leitzel picking up fifth. Hubbard through the whoops. Looks like he will get sixth in this one. Carter just gets by Lang for seventh as they come to the flag. Will Hubbard be a team player here? No. Gonna go over the flag in sixth. Oh, Carter almost over the bars right there. That was close, but he'll get seventh by a nose. Jaden Wilson looking to wrap up a ninth place finish here. And Castellaneta down in 10th. We might have a battle coming to the flag for 10th here as Tyler Shields closes up. Triples and quads almost goes down. So long as Castellaneta gets through this fine, should be good to go. And indeed, Castellaneta rounds out our top 10. Shields 11th, Donovan 12th, and Payson Johnson, last man on the lead lap in 13th. Caleb Hall, Bob Joe, Jay Turner, Trevor Burns, Nick Tomasunis, Daniel Mills, Jack Haley, Alex Kerr, and Tanner Rogers was the field. Unofficially, Carter is 7th. We'll see if cuts change it. He only had 4/10 on Lang. We'll see who gets cuts there. Leclerc has won the main event. Barring penalties. Oh, Nick Sellin. He's still having fun, man. Nose wheeling up to the line here. And cuts are in. Carter does indeed stay 7th by a nose. Leclerc with the win. Sellin will get 2nd. And Carter gets 7th, which means a 10-point swing in the championship from 18 down to 8 with 3 to go. Oh boy, folks. You will not want to miss the next 3 weeks of MotoOption Supercross. 8 points between... Wow, I just noticed this. We have 4 points in the 250 West, 7 points in the 250 East, and 8 points in the 450 class. All 3 championships are pretty much going to go to the very end here in MotoOption Supercross. It doesn't get much better than that. Oh my goodness. What a race here in Atlanta. Want to give a shout out real quick to Wyatt Hassel, donated $6.99 Canadian dollars, said, if Leclerc won, I would donate. Love your stuff, Kellen. Go Casey and Leclerc. So shout out to Wyatt. Thanks so much for the donation. Really appreciate that. And thanks to every single one of you guys that tuned in. What a fantastic race we saw here tonight at Atlanta Motor Speedway for round 14 of MotoOption Supercross. Please be sure to check the archives if you want to watch more of the racing action from previous weeks as well. We have all of them up from rounds 1 through 13 up until this 14th round at Atlanta. So the guys want to go back and watch some good racing. There's a lot of stuff to watch from previous races in the year. Shout out to Race Director Gaming and the Race Director Gaming track crew for putting on this series and building us a track every single week. T-Lang having to do the scripting manually tonight, so shining through even though scripting broke. Shout out to all of our sponsors, MotoOption Clothing. Of course, big shout out to them for being title sponsor of this series for the 12th year running. And Race 6 Suspension, Underground RC, Phil Ski and Snowboard, MXS Lobby, Tagger Designs, and just everybody that's involved with Race Director Gaming. Thanks so much to them. Shout out to our sponsors on our side. Of course, our Jerky on board with us. Hinson Clutch Components as well, backing the stream. So thanks so much to them. And again, thanks so much to all of you guys for tuning in and watching round 14 of MotoOption Supercross. Next week, we'll be in Foxborough. The East guys will battle once again in this 450 class, now tighter than it's been in weeks. ready to go racing for the 15th round in a week's time. We hope to see you guys then. But for now, I'm signing off. Kellen here in the studio saying so long for now.